Feeling it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys.
Welcome, paranormal seekers, and let us go into the abyss. Join us to open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes, and discuss all things supernatural. We believe that we all learn from each other, and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here are your hosts, paranormal investigator Sean Gilmore and Chaos Witch Zorina Crow.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Into the Abyss with myself, Sean Gilmore, and Zorina Crow. Into the Abyss with myself, Sean Gilmore. And
I gotta wait. I'm trying to. I had you on my phone too. Sorry, Sean.
How many episodes do you think that played?
I have no idea, but you know.
So, guys, man, we are in for a treat tonight, guys. Before we started late, honestly, mostly because Linda and Zorina, they just like went on it, they like totally connected like right away, and I had to step in and say, guys, we have to say this for the show, guys. We're seriously in for a huge treat tonight. We have a lot of things that we want to discuss. Last week, Zorina led us in a healing prayer. And I'd like to do the same this week with Linda and send some healing energy out for everybody who's willing to accept it. So, as you all know, Linda Dix, good second or third time coming on the show.
I think the second, maybe.
Second, okay. I know you've been on. Okay,
Sure.
I've known you a long time. A lot of people that know me know my beautiful dog Gramps. We actually went and picked him up from Linda. She rescues dogs, and so she blessed us with Gramps. So we're close friends.
Sorry, my phone went off again. I'm so sorry. I was trying to shut you guys off.
It's okay.
It hit a button, Sean. I'm sorry. You're everywhere. I can't help it.
Uh-oh, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Sean everywhere.
Yeah. That gives you like the bad kind of chills, like the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. It's like the peeping Tom kind of chills. It's not okay.
Yeah. That's why I said Sean everywhere. No.
No, we don't want that. So Linda, you are a psychic medium, a very talented psychic medium.
Well, thank you.
Oh, no problem. I mean, we had you on at the beginning of the year, and you gave us some of your predictions. Now, before we get into like all of that, can you just kind of give our people who are watching and listening kind of an idea on who you are and what kind of got you into being a psychic?
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm a psychic medium, and I'm out of Toledo, Ohio. I've been able to see and hear spirits since I was about 3. When I was 5, I realized not everybody saw spirit like I did. So I started hiding this gift. And as I got older, being adopted, I learned to hide it even more. When I got married the first time, I married a Southern Baptist minister. So this was really, really frowned upon. So it wasn't until my late 30s, I had a near-death experience where I was told this gift was of God and that I needed to use it to help others. So I came back from that near-death experience, and I finally accepted who and what I was. And it's been a process of getting comfortable in my own skin. And I thought my family was going to have a problem accepting it, but my kids got right on the bandwagon. They were in their teens, early 20s, got on the bandwagon right away because they'd been having the same things and stuff happen to them that I had over the years. Then when my grandkids come along, they too have this gift. Different degrees, different variations, but they got it. Now, I don't know, I'm surmising it comes from my father's side of the family, because I met my birth mother's family and none of them have this. So I've never met my father's family, so I'm thinking it must come through there because it's filtering down to my children and grandchildren. And Zermina and I was talking, sometimes when I'm giving readings, I come up with information that there is no way in heck I could even know.
Yeah.
But you just know it. And you pass it on, and the people are kind of dumbfounded. And I'm dumbfounded too, honestly, because it's like, how did I know that? You know, how in the world did I know that? So it gives me validation that I am picking up something greater than myself.
And, you know, that is the same for me because, you know, I've did missing cases. I've did, you know, I helped close a 10-year-old closed case, murder case. And, you know, when you have those validation of those things, or just even with my normal clients or people, I found that I really grow. And it allows me to heal in that same process. And I found, like, you know, like just recently this week, I was speaking to someone and they were just, you know, instantaneously, they're just like, they gravitated to me and they were just prompted to, you know, message me and give me a call. And with that whole conversation, which was amazing, it just really showed me that we are all truly connected within this universe, and the power of, she didn't know my situation, I didn't know her situation, but through that and that whole reading was a very profound experience for both of us.
Yeah. And I have that happen quite frequently. And I'm always, when I do like psychic fairs and I do maybe 26 readings in a day, I listen to other psychics because you were sitting in a group. And it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of times I could do their readings for them because it's always the same. It's a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Mine are always so different. Each person is so different with me that maybe I might use an example. I could always use this example, and I think I've shared this with Sean too, that I got this woman coming through and she had these tiny little purple flowers and she was petting a chicken. Okay. And that's how she was coming through. And it's like, so I just told the guy, this is what I'm getting. It makes no sense to me, but I'm getting this. He goes, oh, my Aunt Violet. Before she passed, she had dementia and she thought her chicken was a cat.
Wow.
So, you know, it makes perfect sense to them sometimes, but it's always so different that it just throws me, because I never know when someone sits down to get a reading, where exactly we're going to go till we get there.
And, you know, it's exactly the same for me, because even how I read the cards, anything, no reading is ever the same for me, whether it be it's the angels that are, you know, coming through, or, you know, a loved one or whatnot. There's never ever been anything that's been cookie cutter for me either. And I've worked psychic fairs as well. And I listen like you do, and I'm like, I'm thinking, are you really kidding me right now? That, you know, it just seems that same, you know, redundant, generalized kind of stuff. And I'm like, what are you really doing over there? You know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of what you know, and sometimes I get a little gruff from other psychics because egos get in the way.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like, no, I got my blinders on. I just focus on my client in front of me. I don't care what's going on around me. They've got my undivided attention, and they're paying me money. So I'm going to give them the best I can possibly give them.
And that's what I say. Exactly. You and I are very much the same in that. When I'm in there and I'm in that, they're going to get that experience, because it's very, my point with them is that you come for answers. You came seeking. I'm going to give you the medicine that you need, and everything else is just boom, out of sight, out of mind. Because in that moment, we are within this sacred space for these people to have that knowledge and wisdom and heal in that moment.
Yep. And I always ask, when I open up to do readings, one of the last things I say, I always ask, help me to help them for their greater good.
Me too. Oh my God, I so love you, Sean. I love her a lot.
So with that, guys, this is gonna be an easy show for me tonight. I know. I'm sitting here. I'm relaxing.
I
You guys can
noticed.
do
Look
all
at
the
them
talking.
sitting back,
I
chilling.
know. I'm sitting back, relaxing. You guys are gonna do all the talking. I'm not
Oh
gonna
no,
have to
no,
think.
no. Oh, Mr.
I'm
Sean,
liking this.
you're an empath, so you getting in
Oh.
on this, bro.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. For sure, bro. We ain't letting you out that easy. No
There
way.
was a bomb.
Linda
Uh-huh.
has
Bear
helped
bomb.
me a lot. Yeah. I know. I just like to have fun. We're getting a lot of good comments. Linda, it seems like you have a lot of friends coming in. Darla Dunn says Linda is truly gifted. She's the real deal. I can vouch for that
investigated
too.
her at Mansfield Reformatory.
Oh, nice. I'm
And
jealous.
I got some really good evidence back in solitaire.
I
I
believe
mean, awesome. I was getting a lot of information from this one spirit. I don't remember the name or anything at this point. But when we got back to the, what is that room called that you guys meet in? Like the lunchroom kind of thing?
Yeah, like the break room or
Yeah, the break room. She looked up on her iPhone and everything I told him, she got validated. It was the coolest thing because, you know, he was there during the Spanish flu, I think. It was just, and the movie that he liked, the song that he liked, all that varied out right in that time period. It was just so cool. But I'd like to go back again with a group of people and do an investigation more so of the psychic's impressions than all the gizmos and gadgets. But that was really cool.
Linda, I want to go investigate there with you.
That would be fun.
Without all that stuff. I love going and just experiencing without it. I would have to have a digital recorder just because, but I definitely would love that. That would be awesome. We always talk about going investigating, and I don't think it's happened yet, has it? I don't think it has.
The only time we did anything together was at G2000, that old warehouse.
That's
when we
right.
walked around that, and you and I, we saw that green light that we couldn't explain.
That's right. That's right.
And we never figured out what that was. But
that's right.
You know, they won't let anybody there anymore.
No,
they don't. They're a Christian organization, and they think that spirits is of the devil, so they don't want it stirred up.
Wow.
I think there's a boy there, right? There's a boy
there's
there.
A teenage boy that fell through the ceiling. And there's a
and
woman
that
was.
What about in the back offices? Did you ever figure out who's back there? Those old offices.
I didn't spend a lot of time back there because I didn't feel very welcoming.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. It was very unwelcoming.
You know, and it's like my dog wouldn't even go back there with me. And it's like if my dogs, and you met Jack, you know, the big gray one, if he wouldn't go back there with me, it's like I'm not going to go back there either. I listen to my animals.
It's like when you get into a neighborhood and you're with your big tough friend. They're like, no, I won't go there. You know, that's not a place to go. It's the same type of thing.
Right.
Like, okay.
And I got that every time I go back there. My dogs would get within, say, 30 feet of it. They wouldn't go any closer. So it's like, okay, if you guys are picking up it's really malevolent, then I don't need to mess with it.
That makes sense. Not every. I mean, a lot of times when you're investigating, you don't want to open yourself up to that negativity. So.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I filter it real quick and I discern. I just want to say real quick hi to Danny. He's another one of my psychic friends. And we got a lot of psychics in our going on. We're going to be pumped up with energy, Linda. I'm telling you.
Well done. Hi, Lori Ann. Hi, Danny. Darla and Becky and Anita.
Yep.
I think I've got everybody.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up with everybody.
I tell you, it's amazing.
Here we go. My son Thomas, he said hi.
Hi, Thomas.
He's our YouTuber for today.
All right.
He's
So-
got your, doesn't he?
He's got what?
He's got your gift, doesn't he?
Sometimes I wonder,
Yeah.
but he won't open up to it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
scary.
Sorry.
Same
He
word.
won't. He won't. He doesn't. He won't open up to it.
Yeah.
I
it's
ask him if he
scary.
feels things, and he's just like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" But my other daughter, she'll be like, "Daddy, my knees feel weird." I'm like, "Okay," so she's got it. but it's hard to get him to open up. Maybe as he gets older. Honestly, when I was his age, I don't think I could have opened up either. I don't.
What?
think I
How
was
old is
ready.
he now, Sean?
He's 10.
He's 10. When he's
Yeah.
about 18, he's gonna. I think he's gonna start being a little bit more interested in it. Don't you
Yeah.
think? Linda?
When I was 18, that's when things really pumped up for me.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. So
He's got a
so
grandpa
Linda,
around him.
he's got a what?
He's got a grandpa around him that's watching over him and kind of protecting him from energies. So he's kind of like his gatekeeper right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Until
okay.
he gets old enough to handle it, but grandpa is there kind of the gatekeeper.
Yes.
So he's protected.
Okay. Well, Grandpa, if you could please help block out some of that sassiness, bring in some more positivity, and we're I'm kidding.
He says, "Well,
Kids-
where do you think he gets it from?"
Grandpa's saying, no, this is payback, bud.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Where do you think he gets it from?" I had to put up with
Not
your
me.
ass all. Yes, you.
What?
Yes.
No, it's from his
You're being
mom.
called out, bro. Called out. I'm sorry.
No, it's from his
Yeah.
mom.
Guy, no, helped
It's
raise
from
you.
his mom. All the good stuff comes from me. All the other stuff comes from the mom.
Serena, do you have your hip boots on?
I do. I feel like I'm wading real, and I'm only 5'2", so I'm telling
I've
you,
got
this is real deep in here. Real deep.
Yeah, I've got the sticky.
Hey, Melvin.
Melvin's here.
Yeah, woo woo.
And Downing. Oh,
Oh,
Darla's
Amanda's here.
what it was. It was the Spanish flu, World War I, the Great Train Robbery,
Here.
the song over
Pull that up.
there. Yeah, it was really
Yes.
cool. We got a lot
Yeah,
of
Darla-
stuff that checked out.
Yeah. Darla Dunn says, yes, Spanish flu, World War I. The movie was, I think, Great Train Robbery, 11-minute silent film, sung over there, all over the same time frame. Linda was validated on all of it. It's so
And
great
Darla-
when you can validate things.
Darla has done Mansfield Reformatory for years. She's one of the volunteers, so she's kind of an expert on things there. So that was kind of nice going around with her, and she knew where to look to find the stuff to validate it.
I keep seeing a white nurse there for some reason, and like the old nurse's uniform and the stockings. She keeps. I don't know why. I keep seeing the stockings in her shoes, and this white. It's just really weird. Like I can hear that squeak of the shoe, where like they're walking, and it's like at night.
I haven't run into a nurse, but I've run into a couple women there, which I was surprised because it's a men's prison.
There was part of the prison that was used for one of the, maybe it was the Spanish flu, but there was a portion that was used as a hospital for, I can't think of it. But part of it was used for a hospital, so that there could be nurses there, and they did have a pretty big medical facility there. And that's honestly that area is one of my favorite places to investigate. What's weird odd about that is that I don't like investigating hospitals, but I like that medical area there at Mansfield.
I don't like crazy houses. It's something about the energy about being in an insane asylum. It is just too overwhelming. It's like overloads my senses. That's the only places that I don't do.
Psych hospitals really affect me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just too too much. And I see a lot of what, I don't know what you call them, Linda, but I call them the hollows. That when a soul kind of leaves and they're kind of vacant and something kind of takes over their body and hitchhikes, and they have the hollow eyes and you can see them look back at you. And I'm like, that's not a person anymore. So I'm just like, yeah, those, I kind of like, I'm good with that. No, thank you. So have you experienced the hollows? Or I don't know what you call them, but I call them the hollows.
I call them, they're in their death state.
Yeah.
I make a distinction. To me, spirit is someone who's gone into the light and processed.
Yes.
And back looking hale and hearty. A
Yeah.
ghost is someone who never went and processed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They're trapped in that death state.
Yeah.
So that's how I tell the difference.
Woo, it's creepy. I had them look back at me, and that cold stare. It shakes your very being, because you know there's nothing, you know.
Yeah, it's really hard to connect that they ever once was human.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
It's almost like the shark eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's a light on, but nothing is there. There's no emotion. There's no nothing. It
is, and it was creepy because I was out and about one time, and when I saw, you know, what I call the hollow, and when he looked back at me, he just had this really smug grin, and I knew that whatever that was kind of like inside of him was not human and not good.
Yeah. So Amanda Downey says, absolutely love the Mansfield Reformatory. Have been there twice and investigated with Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters, and would continually go back to Mansfield. Had tons of activity when I was there. I'm going to be honest. The last time I was there, I didn't get a lot of activity. It was great. It was a great time. It's awesome, of course, to have a whole big prison to yourself when you're, you know. But I don't know. Maybe it was just a quiet night. But you know, you'll have that. For me, my favorite places to investigate are houses, homes. Even if it's there's a lot of homes that are used for paranormal research facilities, like the Hinsdale House, the Monroe House, and several others. Those are my favorite types. But that's because that's like when you're helping somebody, that's the type of places that you're going into. So I don't know, but going into like a psych I almost call it a museum, but pretty much places we go to are museums. Those are extremely tough. And for me, I mean, you feel the emotions. But that's why I don't like regular hospitals. It's because the emotions that are still there.
Yeah.
It's so hard. If I go to going to a real hospital like that, I dread that. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm going for. I could be going there to drop off a donation. I'm dreading walking through those doors. So it's just, I don't know. It's tough for me. Here, actually, Danny Green, he wants to know, how long have you been a medium for?
Who, me?
Yes.
Since I was 3, so it'd be 63 years. But I didn't accept it till I was like 38, 39, you know. But yeah, about 63 years, because I've always seen spirit.
Huh.
I started when I was 6 years old. I lived in a Victorian home. It was 3 stories with an attic and a back, a free, and all that kind of stuff. And I used to have this lady used to stand, over top of me when I was 6 years old. Wow. And when I was 6, I was like, I didn't understand what was going on. And then later on, we moved out of that house. But when I was 13, I moved back to that house, and I did the research because she came back to me, and I found out a lady had committed suicide, and she had lost her child, and all this whole scenario. So it made sense to why she kind of just really watched over me and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, with me as an empath, first of all, Brenda Jones says Linda is phenomenal. Yes, she is. For me, I think I was, 6th grade, so 13. I was at overnight camp. I don't know if I've told the story on the show. But I think I have. Have I told the story, Zarina? So I was brought up Jewish. I would go to a Jewish camp in Ohio,
Mhm.
and the 4th of July fell on the Sabbath. That's every Friday night. So we weren't able to do fireworks or do anything for the 4th of July because it was Sabbath. And so instead they had us do this like meditation thing. And while we were doing that, I just got this feeling of dread. Like there's something wrong at home. I was not homesick, but there was something wrong at home. And I went and I told a counselor, and I knew the rules. We weren't allowed to call home because of homesickness. And I said, I'm not homesick. I'm like, but something's wrong at home. It's weird. I don't know. Something's wrong at home. They said, no, you're just homesick. Don't worry. It'll just make it worse if you call home. So just don't worry. Just go sit over there on the side of this hill by yourself and you'll get better. So I'm sitting there on the side of this hill trying to figure out what this is. What is going on at home? Something is wrong at home. So it's all I knew. And so eventually it kind of like dissipated. I just like, I don't know, maybe I got used to it. I don't know. But then I went back and so like a week later I went home and my mom picked me up in my great grandmother's car. And I found out on the 4th of July, my great grandmother passed away alone in her kitchen of a heart attack. And my mom, before my mom told me, I pretty much like knew as soon as I saw her car. And it wasn't like odd for my mom to borrow her car because my mom had she had a beater herself. So my great grandmother had this big old Ford LTD. And I don't know. I just kind of knew as soon as I saw it, that's what that feeling was. And that was my first time, like, and I was more like in shock and awe that I already knew. And then, then the other like emotions, like, why didn't anyone tell me? Like I wanted to say goodbye too, but all that other stuff. But it's like, how did I know that? And that's something that I grew up like not knowing and not understanding, and other things would happen too. So I didn't actually get my answers until I was like 30.
Yeah.
So I went all that time without understanding or knowing what's going on. And that's why I got into paranormal though, so I can help other people who go through stuff like that.
Right.
Well, I'm so glad that you did, because otherwise I would have not met you. And you're like one of my favorite people ever.
Well, thank you. So, Linda, you made some predictions, and I kind of brought this up briefly at the beginning of the show. You made some predictions about 2020 the last time you were on. And one of the predictions you talked about was earthquakes and other things that'll be going on.
A lot of earth changes.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you know this. Last night, there was a tornado.
Yep, I heard that. The
night before, or I don't know if you would call it the same night, but pretty much 24 hours before, there was an earthquake in Lake Erie. It was only 2.2 magnitude, a little teeny tiny one, but still in Ohio though. And these things happen like right there. And these things like this are happening all over the planet. And then you add
rocked not a few days ago.
Right. No, this earthquake was literally like yesterday, like late, like it was maybe 11 a.m. on Monday or 11 p.m. Monday. But still, it's still very close to each other for that to happen, and a tornado. I mean, it's the season, right? But still, when you see a pattern throughout the entire planet, and you see how many earthquakes, if you go to any of the websites that map out and show you where the earthquakes are and the volcanoes that are erupting and everything that's going on, it's a lot. It's a lot. And now, that's something I've always kind of like been interested in. So I've always kind of like checked in on that stuff ever since we had the ability to on the internet. It just seems to me that it's happening a lot more than before. So I see a lot of what you were saying with that. And then you add this whole COVID-19 thing into it. And it's just kind of like, it just totally, it's mind blowing. and the fact that you called it.
Well, I picked up on a pandemic back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't realize it was going to take this long to get here, but I picked up on that in 2011 that there was going to be a pandemic. I really thought it was going to be the H1N1, but we vaccinated for that and we seemed to beat it. So this one kind of surprised me. But when I saw it first thing in China, I just knew it was going to get bad.
Yeah.
I can't describe how I knew. It's just a gut instinct that this is going to get really bad before it gets worse. And it has.
Yeah.
I don't see it letting up, to be honest, anytime soon.
I see it evolving and mutating in some sort of way. And I had put that in my journal in 2017 about the pandemic. And then, war changes and, just different things that were kind of like in that, almost like that Four Horsemen kind of apocalyptic stage, that I went back and I'm like, holy crap,
What was really strange is when this broke out in China and it was going like into Italy and Iran and the Mediterranean, they had those locust swarms in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Massive locusts, and crops were devastated. And it's like, it is almost like it's the Four Horsemen of the apocalypse, because you got all this coming in.
Oh, I just got chills. I really felt that. And that's what I felt like. There were stages of things that are going to be unleashed. And that was almost like some of it is like, proportional to like a cleansing, almost like everything in that sense is going to be wiped out. And there was just going to be, with every, like a repopulation. It's a good and bad thing and a horrible, traumatic thing of everything that's going to occur. And it's going to get worse before it gets better.
And if you look at history,
I don't like what you're saying.
You got a massive plague of some kind.
I don't like what you're saying. I have a vacation coming up in a couple months. I need to be able to go.
We'll cross our fingers on that one.
I need to be able to go. Oh, Lord, I need it so bad.
Sean, it could be worse. You could be out Walking Dead killing zombies.
Well,
I'm just saying.
And it's going to get worse before it gets better. And then I think we're going to have a period of like a lull, like the eye of the hurricane.
Yes.
And then the second half is going to hit us. So I think this is coming in two parts.
And I'm in agreement.
The hurricane comes in, and then you have that eye where it's peaceful. Then you have the backlash.
Yeah.
So
I'm in agreement with Linda, because I felt like in some way it's going to mutate in some way, and it's going to spur off something, for at least a good 3 to 6, 8 month period. I don't know if Linda felt that as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit us in the fall.
Yeah.
Way new.
Yeah.
I feel like fall because I got changing colors in the leaves. So I would say fall is when that second wave is going to hit. So we've got to get through. Like summer, I think it's going to help because the heat may kill some of it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
The ones that survive, it's only going to be stronger. So when it comes back in the fall, it's going to be worse because it's stronger.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with that, because I do feel like there is going to be some type of, treatment. And but also I feel like there's something that has always echoed in my mind. And Linda, I want to ask you about that. I keep hearing the word radiation. Oh. Have you got anything with that?
Not until right this moment, but I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I didn't pick that up before, no, but I think you're onto something.
Now, another thing you brought up, Linda, was civil unrest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
civil unrest.
I don't know what's going on. Like me being an empath, like I don't have like this connection with spirit. I don't get told things. All I know is what I feel. And what I know is that since the mid-January, I have been up until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. If I'm sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake between 3 and 3:30 every morning. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep. The only way that I fall asleep is by taking CBD oil. It's absolutely insane. I've never had this much trouble sleeping and feeling rested. My energy's been off.
Yeah.
There's something else that's coming into play here that is very negative, and I don't know quite what that is. And now civil unrest is something that came up on your predictions as well. Do you think that might be what I'm tapping into, or?
That could be because, like I said, I see it escalating to where there could be rioting and looting. I see that kind of activity. I can't pick up exactly where. I just see like a city street and people are just going crazy with this. So it's hard to, if it's America, if it's the UK, it could be all these places.
It is, because and that's so funny that you use that particular word, because that's what the word that I wrote in my journal is, civil unrest. It was the same exact word. That's crazy. And what we just happened with this super moon, we had a portal open in this last 2 days. So we are having a lot of different type of dark energy that is filtering in. So there's causing a lot of, energy unrest. And, we are the ones that light workers are trying to kind of deal with that progression of that energy that is just pounding in. That is, I guess, compounding a lot of these feelings and issues and things that are going on.
Joe Campbell, looting toilet paper.
Now, what's up with that,
Yeah, what is with the toilet paper, people?
I don't know.
Seriously, of all the things, come on. Come on. I mean, like if you run out of toilet paper, you can't leave the house. You have a tub. Like, what is the toilet paper of all the things to care about?
My friend works at Walmart, and she was she sent me a list of all the craziness as working at Walmart, that people are just piling in things off the shelves and just like disappearing and gone. And it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I literally went to Walmart the other day. I went in just to simply get hot dogs and buns. And there's like cops in the, right before you go in the doors. And as you go, and in the produce aisle is the Army National Guard, this dude, like ginormously huge in the middle of produce, just standing there. And I'm like, okay, that's just whoa. That presence was like crazy.
Yeah. And Zarina, you're down in Florida, right? So your borders are closed.
Yeah, I'm like, it's super crazy down here in Florida,
Which is strange, because Florida has a lot of us baby boomers down there. And we always have stockpiles of stuff. I buy toilet paper on stuff, so I got a stockpile.
Right.
Well, my friend always jokes, because now would be the time to have definitely a sugar daddy, because you could get into the stores a little bit earlier, between 7 to 8, and actually get something. So I'm just saying.
But and I couldn't understand why Florida left their beaches open.
I know they're closed. They're closed.
They were open for a while, though. They had spring breakers and all that.
But now they've closed it. They've literally. I live in the North Florida, and so they're pretty much closed everything. And it's just like, it's a state of affairs when Waffle House is closed and the only thing that's available is curbside service. I've never seen in my lifetime Waffle House closed. Never, ever.
I never have either.
Yeah.
Here, Cassandra DeWitt, she says, someone told me that the reason why they're buying toilet paper is because families are using more that they are home, and they're using more than if they're at work or school.
No, I think they're just in fear. People are in fear. This is,
I think it's toilet paper selling out. I better get mine before it sells out. And I'm going to get a bunch because I don't have to worry about it later.
Right.
That's what I think.
One, I don't have the money to go out and hoard shop anything, So it's like, I just never understood that the toilet paper, paper towels, and I mean, I can understand the soap and the hand sanitizer, and the mask and the gloves. I can understand those things you're stocking up on, but now it didn't make sense.
Now I can really kick myself in the butt that I didn't learn extreme couponing. That's all I gotta say about that.
Well, Bear has a phobia on coupons, so I can't coupon.
What?
Yep, he's got a horrible phobia on couponing. When he was a child, his mother extremely couponed. Okay.
Uh-huh.
One day he was cutting coupons out on the couch, and he had the piece of paper over the back of the couch, and he cut the coupon. And when he took the coupon off the paper, so piece of the couch came with it. Okay. So he stuffed it back in and really hoped that his mom wouldn't notice it. And she didn't.
Yeah.
So she was cleaning one day and she vacuumed and sucked that piece up in the vacuum cleaner. Then it all come out. And after, he's been traumatized with couponing. So it's mom's fault. She'll probably get me tonight, but yeah.
I have a good friend that if I go somewhere and if he doesn't have a coupon, I'm in a world of shock. Like I like people love their coupons. I've never really I've never put the effort into it. But I suppose that there could be some good value. I do like Groupon a lot. Is that the same thing?
Yes.
I'm a fan of Groupon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get some good stuff on there. They should have here's an idea. Owners of paranormal locations, haunted locations, put your place on Groupon.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Work.
I like that stuff. Sorry. I just like deals. I like cheap.
Yeah, do too. I like the buy one, get one.
The BOGO.
Yeah. The
I like
BOGOs. Right?
I like it when they have it with the meat. You buy it, get a roast free. I love doing that kind of stuff.
I like that. I like it when I can get the kids into a water park for really cheap or getting a good deal on an oil change. Oil changes are expensive. I have a 2018, you get your oil change like every 6 months, but it's like $60 for a stupid oil change. It's ridiculous. Right? So I wanted my Groupons to help me with that.
Joe wants to know about the return policy on toilet paper.
Well, up in Toledo, they're not accepting.
Oh my God. Hello, Joe.
We're like that's a regret.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Buyer's remorse on.
Yeah, dude, that was so awesome.
That's bad up here, though, that they're not taking any returns of the stuff that was hoarded.
Nope, they are not.
They are just SOL. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you do curbside pickup, that's the same thing. They will not take any returns back.
Really?
No, because they have some kind of weird policy. Because usually, if they're out of something, they're supposed to upgrade it, and if they don't have it what to upgrade, they'll just substitute whatever, and whatever they substitute, if you don't like it, you can't return it. So that's kind of like yes.
But now here's the thing. Okay, my grandmother, she's in a retirement community in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
She's not able to drive. So she has her groceries delivered to her, and they don't have what she wants, and she just doesn't get it. Like she wants like blueberries. They don't get her raspberries. They don't get her another type of berry or strawberry. No, she gets no fruit. So she just gets SOL. So honestly, I mean that's not a horrible deal as long as it's close to what you want. If you don't have fresh blueberries, you know what? Give me some frozen blueberries. I don't care. Give me what I need. But I don't think that they put that much thought when they're doing the shopping for people.
No, I don't think they do. And I used to do personal assistant. I used to be a personal shopper for people, so I take that stuff serious because I like to do my shopping for people. So.
And what I would do too, why don't they call the person and say, hey, we don't have blueberries. Would you like frozen, or would you like strawberries or something else that we do have? Why not just ask?
Right. That's too much work.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's too much work. But especially now when you have like 100 orders, I could see that. But still, it's like do like some sort of comparison and have like a disclaimer. You know what? If we have, we're going to get you something close to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We won't make it so you don't get what you want unless we're completely out. Right. So I think that's me. I don't know. I just always feel bad when my grandmother's like, I wanted blueberries, but they didn't have them, so I don't have any fruit in the house. I'm like, well, then why didn't they give you some raspberries? I mean, what the heck? I mean, would you be upset if you had raspberries? I bet you wouldn't because you have some fruit. Oh, here. This is from Unexplainable Possibilities, Melvin.
Yes.
This might be a complicated one. Yes, I love Melvin questions. Okay. Sorry, Sean, Linda, you have faced ridicule for sharing your predictions. If so, is this ridicule you face in modern times different from the ridicule you faced in the past? Also, what is the reason you do what you do?
Okay. Yes, I have faced ridicule in the past, and currently, people think that when I do my Wednesday nights that I'm stupid and I'm dumb and Facebook psychic. What do you know? So yeah, you get ridiculed, but I'm not out here to change your way of thinking or to persuade you to believe what I believe. I am just like a radio. I just kind of put the messages out there, and the ones who are supposed to get them, and the ones who
Yes.
aren't, don't. And that's not my responsibility. I
Exactly.
give it out there. And if I listened to the naysayers, I probably would
Yeah.
crawl in a hole and not do anything. But
Yeah.
that's why I've got this gift.
Absolutely. I absolutely, just support Linda in that because, I just give her a lot of credit because you have to be called to do what we do. And there's levels to this. You got to have a thick skin. You got to walk in your authority. You got to know who you are, because let me tell you, if you cower at one little person that tells you, oh, blah, 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 you'll never make it, because you have to be strong and know that this is your purpose and your gift, and this is your medicine that you're bringing to the world.
And I agree. We had talked about it earlier. Sometimes we get to doubting ourselves.
Absolutely.
You get, it just comes humdrum and run of the mill kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're human. So we kind of doubt ourselves. Then we do a reading for somebody where we get this miraculous information in that we know we had no way of knowing. And it's like, this is real. This is, I am getting stuff from spirit. There's no other way I could have known it. So I am right in my walk, and I am going in the right direction.
Yes.
But you got to believe in your gift.
Yes, absolutely.
And everybody's going to tell you it doesn't exist, or that you're a fake, or you're this or that. And it's like, I know within my heart what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what matters. I know in here.
And it's for me. I always quote a Depeche Mode song: "Lift up the receiver, and I'll make you a believer, baby." That's right.
I enjoy having skeptics sit down in front of me. I really.
Me too.
They go, "I'm a skeptic. You can't," and their hands are folded like this, and they just sit there, dare you to do it,
Yeah.
And I kind of chuckle to myself, and I says, "Well, I'm not here to prove I have a gift. I'm here to help you on your life path."
Right.
And that takes them aback. And then I take where spirit goes and leads me. And I've had some people tell me, nope, 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 the whole reading. But I keep getting the same information.
Yeah.
And they get up, nope, you were totally wrong. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, if you feel that way, go get your money back.
Yeah.
And see another psychic. Maybe I didn't have the message for you. Maybe another psychic will. That's cool. Then I hear from somebody else that they go out and start talking to people. Oh my God, she hit everything on the head. And it just freaked me out. And I couldn't tell her that she did that because she'll get a big head. And, and it's just amazing how spirit works that way.
It is. And I will tell you, I've had so many people that come and, they have that block and that skeptic, and they're like, oh no, you're just like, no, that really doesn't. And I'm like, no, I know I'm right. You just are afraid to admit the truth to yourself and own up. And you're that you're trying to shield and hide, because I see through all that bull potty mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, and they'll come back usually 2 or 3 weeks and will say, you know what, I really need to tell you something. And it's like, yeah, I already knew this. You know what I'm saying? You could have just saved your whole self a world of heartbreak if you would have just like owned up to it and say, let's fix this. You know, what is your next part and portion that, you know, because I'm a root worker. So when I get in it, I get in the root, and I'm gonna help you, you know, change that to fix that. But you know, you gotta be real with yourself and authentic, and don't lie to yourself, you know. And a lot of people don't want to hear our truth, because like I sat down and I said, if you're not ready for the truth, don't sit down at my table, because let me tell you, I'm gonna rip you open, and it's gonna be like Roto-Rooter, and it ain't gonna feel good.
Because I've even asked people, they sit down, say for instance, if their significant other is cheating, okay?
Ooh, word.
Oh, are you sure you really want to know?
Right.
You know, it's like once you know, you can't go back to that deniability.
Truth.
It's in your face.
You know what? I've learned just a general rule in life. Don't ask a question unless you're ready for the answer.
Truth.
That's just a general. I mean, whether if you're talking to a psychic, or you're talking to your boss, or if you're talking to your girlfriend, or you're talking to your child, don't ask unless you're seriously ready for the answer.
Yeah.
You may not like what you get back. Now, when I'm talking to Linda, I make sure I'm ready for the answer, because I know. Same with Dorina. Same with Dorina, because both of you, I mean, you can see how much you guys are very much alike.
Yeah.
So it's so I know, but still, I mean, like I said though, you got to be careful. And so a lot of psychics I've noticed, you know, they avoid those questions. They don't want to get into the negative aspects of life, like am I going to get over this cancer? Am I being cheated on? They try to avoid those as much as possible. Is that because because of that, you know, or maybe you're not really ready for this answer, or is it because, you know, you try to stay away from the negativity because you don't want that connection?
People like to be ignorant in their bliss, because they create this illusion about their life, and they skip the red flags. They skip the things in their intuition that they know that they need to face and deal with. And even in my own life, you know, I got some things I'm dealing with, and I'm like, you know, I have to face this head on, and I have to make better decisions and better choices in my life. But it doesn't mean it does not going to hurt like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, a lot of people are conditioned in their own illusion, in their own mind. And if you know, once you hear truth, you can't unhear truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't unhear it. Right, Linda?
Yeah, I agree. That's why I say, are you sure you really want to know?
Yeah.
And I've been asked Sean this, are you sure you want the answer to this question? Because I can be brutally honest. I try to buffer it so I'm not cruel, but I will address it. The one thing that I do not like addressing at all is when someone asks me, when is so-and-so going to die? Am I going to get an inheritance? When are they going to die? So I'm going to get the inheritance. I get a lot of that. And I don't like, and I just say, I don't like going there. Even if I see a murky aura around somebody and I know they're going to pass, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. And I'm going to, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm in agreement with Linda. I don't do that. I discern very much and be very tactful and allow the spirit to tell me what I can and cannot release, because you have to understand, you hold a lot of power in your mouth and your words, because as you know, magical women and intuitive women, we speak things forth. And so we have to make sure without out a doubt that what we're speaking into existence, how it's going to affect these people. And I'm in agreement with that, you know, and just being very tactful and knowing what to say to people.
You know, and sometimes, you know, if it's really strong, and I feel if it's somebody that I have dealt with a lot, that I've done readings for, I have a relationship, like when Goose's mom was getting close to passing.
I love Goose. Sorry.
I picked that up and I contacted him. And I don't usually contact people that I don't have a relationship with.
Yeah.
Personal, but I contacted him and I explained some things about, you know, she needed him to say it was okay for her to go, and a few other things. and kind of helped him get over that. I will do things like that. I will help make the transition easy if I can, because I worked at hospice for a while as a nurse. So I've done the end of life counseling. So I do try to make, if I know the person, I do try to make the end of life transition easy for them and the family. I get them ready for it. I will go that route, but I won't go, when is so-and-so going to die so I can inherit money?
And Linda,
Danny Green says he has a lot of people asking if he knows lottery numbers.
Yes.
Now,
doesn't work that way.
nope.
Aw.
Trust me, if it was, I'll be like, and I love to mess with people.
It's that personal gain clause.
Look,
let me tell you
if you want lottery numbers, you go to a mathematician, okay?
Let me
go
tell
to someone who's in the numbers, someone that will get you the odds, someone will do that. But yeah, because it doesn't go that way. But if it were this simple, I would pay you $100 for a learning lottery ticket so I can win a couple billion. That'd be great.
Well, let me tell you, I do mess with people. I know that this is terrible, but I'll be in a Circle K or whatever, and I'll be like, certain people know me as a psychic or whatever, and I'll just like rattle off some numbers. People be like buying tickets. I just do it just for the hell of it because it tickles me, and I'm just sorry, but maybe that's bad, but I do. But I do want to go back to that segue with Linda and about the end of life. I've been a death doula as well, so I honor that with you as well, that you understand that as well.
Yeah. I've even thought of becoming a death doula.
Yeah.
But with my health issues, I wouldn't be that much of a help at this point in time. But so I honor that gift and that ability to do it. So I do it my own way, but not officially.
Yeah, well, I love that we understand that with each other.
Yeah.
See, with me, like, I have a weird connection with death. It's weird for me too. Like, I go, like, when my two oldest kids were youngest, or we lived in a trailer back in the day. Mm-hmm. We just got home from Christmas shopping, and I walked up to the front door. I put my hand at the doorknob, and I told my wife to take the kids back into the car. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Just because." Put the kids back in the car. And I go inside, and our cat died underneath the Christmas tree.
Aww.
How would I know if I put my hand on the doorknob? Why do I have this connection with death? Like the story I told about my great grandmother. Why do I have this? Why when my dad passed away, I literally called him moments before he died. He died when I was on the phone.
Wow.
Like how does this happen?
Yeah.
I always knew when relatives died, even though they were 360 miles away, because they come and say goodbye to me.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was in San Diego, California. I'm in Ohio. So it's weird.
Did I ever tell you what my dad did to me? I knew he was dying. Okay. He had lung cancer and a lot of things. And I saw him that night. And I knew he was going to make his transition. Mm-hmm. So I came. And in the morning, I was getting up to go to work. I was a visiting nurse. I was getting a shower and stuff. And here walks my dad into my bathroom, looking like he did when I was a teenager. Okay. And I go, "Dad, I'm naked in the shower. Get out of here." And then when he just disappeared, it's like, oh my God, he came to say goodbye to me. And I yelled at the man. It just, the shock of having my adult father catch me in the shower just overrode the thing that, wait a minute, he's dead. Yeah. So he come to say goodbye. After that, though, I knew when I went to the house, my mom's house, I knew he was gone. I didn't have to be told. I knew he was gone because he came to say goodbye. Mm-hmm. But he still comes in now. It's just he doesn't come to me in the shower anymore, which is good. But they come and they say goodbye. And I would tell my parents, Uncle or Aunt so-and-so came to say goodbye. And I'd be like 5, 6, 7 years old, something like that. And they tell me, don't say things like that. That's evil. That's wrong. And then when we get the phone call hours later that person died, they made me feel like I caused it because I spoke it. Yeah. So I stopped speaking it, but they kept dying. So I thought, I'm thinking it, they're dying. When you're a kid, you get really screwed up like that.
And that's true for me because that's what happened with my mom. My mom passed away when I was 17. And, everybody in my family kind of knew I was different and just weird. And I think most of them were afraid of me because of the gift that they knew. They didn't know exactly what I was. And they tried to put me in church. They tried to, I swear, I was baptized 6 times because I think they were afraid I was going to go to the dark side or something. I've been baptized in every religion possible, I think. But,
My husband had me exercised.
Let me right there. So let me tell you, when people fear you like that, and like when something just happened, and I remember my aunt telling me at my mom's funeral, you killed your mom, and I was like, that devastated me because even though I didn't have the best or closest relationship with my mom, that war, that darkness in my spirit, I'm 47 years old. That took a toll on me for most of my life, and until this past year that I had a mutual psychic friend of mine that was able to connect with my mom and cross her over to the light, and we had that exchange and that forgiveness, and my great grandfather came to get my mom to take her to the other side. That was the only time I experienced that release and that relief for that healing, because that always mentally stuck in my head, just as you say, that people feared what you spoke.
Yeah. And they did. They were afraid of me. They looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I was adopted. So it was even more so because nobody in my adoptive family was like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the dark hair, the hazel eyes, and most of the people were of Norwegian and Swedish descent.
Mm-hmm.
So on blue-eyed people. So, I really stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ooh, I just got chills. Do you know a lot about your adoptive, anything at all?
Yes, I found my birth mother when I was 27, and I've got 5 half siblings.
Okay.
We didn't really have a relationship. We weren't raised together, so we may have the blood and the DNA, but we don't have the memories to bond.
Because I feel like there's a lot of things maybe, once we're off this part, you and I can have a private conversation, because I feel like there's some messages that I feel like I want to share with you from a little bit, you know what I mean? That would be all right?
That'd be fun.
I'm so excited. Sorry, Sean.
Someone asked me a question about how old was I when it first happened, or what was my first experience?
It was your first. Yeah, that was a while. We were so into another conversation. I meant to share that. Thank you for bringing it back up.
I was 3 years old. It was at my paternal grandfather's funeral. He was laying in the coffin, but yet he was walking around the room. Mm-hmm. I couldn't understand how he was in 2 places. Now, remember, I'm only 3, maybe 3.5. He sat down in a chair, and I remember climbing up the chair in his lap, and I fell asleep, I thought, in his lap. My dad woke me up and picked me up, and he walked me up to the casket. We were saying our goodbyes or whatever, I'm not quite sure, but I was looking at the casket, and his sister comes up, my aunt, and she puts her arms around my dad and leans into him, and he's holding her, and she's crying. And Grandpa sits up in the coffin. Mm-hmm. And he goes, you tell her that if I wasn't dead, I'd spit tobacco in her face for being so mean to me before I died. Grandpa told me to say it. Mm-hmm. Out it comes. In a funeral where people's emotions are high.
Yeah.
They did not believe me that Grandpa told me to say it. They thought my parents had put me up to saying it. Nobody believed me that Grandpa told me.
No.
And that was really rough. And then when I was 5, my other grandfather passed away in an accident, and I ended up in the hospital too with pneumonia. Mm-hmm. And I was frightened because my mom was busy. We had a lot of relatives in the hospital that had serious injuries, so she was splitting her time up. So I was really scared. Well, my grandpa was there with me every single night, holding my hand all night long. Okay. And when I would tell people that, my mom would start crying and leave the room. I couldn't understand that. But my grandma, when she finally come to visit me, they wheeled her down one day. She goes, that's okay, honey. He visits me too. And just left it at that. So I was okay with Grandpa being there. And then as I got older, my grandma never remembers telling me that. She couldn't remember that you know, and it's like, that's when I started learning not everybody must see like I do. So I'm different. And that's when that difference and weird and I'm not normal, that's when all that thinking kind of come into play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was about 3 when I can remember
Yeah.
that.
I was
a family fight.
Danny Green says that your gift came from your great-great-grandmother. Does that make sense?
That could be. I'm thinking it's on my father's side. Like I said, I found my birth mother. And even though on my birth mother's side, I'm related to Commodore Perry through his brother, and also all the way back to William Wallace of Scotland through the Perry connection. That's really all I know about them, but none of them had this gift.
Yeah.
I was weird in that family too. So
I tell you, I love being weird. I am the only person like that, this in my family as well. Even though my other family, you know, does support me and love me, you know, I'm very grateful for their support. And I know it's scary for them sometimes. You know, it's not always easy having, you know, an oddball as a mom or an oddball as a, you know. But I'm just very grateful that I have really supportive people in the latter part of my life that allows me to be my authentic self and you know, and just roll with it.
You know what I tell my kids? I tell my kids that normal is relative. There's no real normal. What's normal to me is not normal to someone else. And I tell them, and there's really with that, there's no such thing as being weird. Be yourself. Be comfortable with who you are. Because what's normal to you is not going to be normal to someone that you go to school with. So it's just all relative. It's all a matter of opinion. And you know what they say about opinions?
Everyone's got one.
Right.
It does make dating interesting. You know, when you put on your dating resume, oh, I talk to dead people. So, you know,
It's on your resume?
No, I don't have a
like,
resume. I'm just saying, Sean. You know
I'm joking.
You know, though, speaking of kind of resume, it jotted my memory. A few years ago, I was working for in a hospital for chemical dependency and psychological disorders. And one of the people hosted a party where I was doing tarot readings. Well, 2 weeks later, I came up for my yearly evaluation. On my yearly evaluation, they had that I used witches' tools.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
And they talked about ridicule, and it's like, and I'm saying, seriously, witches' tools? What are you guys talking about? Well, someone was at a party. One of the girls in the office was at a party, and you were doing tarot. And I go, yeah, you knew I was a psychic medium when you hired me, you know, because of I do fairs and, you know, I'm kind of known in the area. And they go, yeah, but we didn't realize you used witches' tools in doing it. And our CEO has a problem with that.
Wow.
And I got upset, to be perfectly blunt. And I says, you know, you had better take this off my evaluation. What I do in my private life has nothing to do. I go, I'm not a witch, but even if I was, it's none of your business what I do, just wise.
Well, I
you know, so you take it off, or I'm going to report you guys, and I will sue you.
You know what?
I'm not going to sign this.
And I will tell you, I feel that because I got fired from my last job because of that. Because they knew who I was. There were a lot of Bible thumpers, and I used to call the one in HR Shark Bun. And she was the head hunter of all of it. And through just a bunch of convoluted things, found it to fire me because and work it through and write me up because they did not like the fact that they knew who I was. They knew. I think they were afraid because I knew shit about them. You know what I'm saying? And that my friend
all you knew.
Yeah, and you know, and she was one of those Pentecostal, I call her shark buns, because you know they have them that long hair, and Lord help me for that. But you know what I'm talking about. And so, but anyways, it was, and it's just like, I am very proud of who I am. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium. I come from a shamanic background, and I am a witch. I will tell you, I'm the sweetest heart, but I will tell you, I can hex and heal you at the same time. So,
I mean,
Oh, those pole dancing days. What can I say?
I'm saying dollar bills, yo.
Here, Cassandra DeWitt, she asks, I've been having vivid dreams, and they all have my mom in them. Is that a message for me from someone, but my mom is still living?
Is there an
So her
issue
mom
with
is still alive,
your-
I think, is what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
Um,
Is her mom still alive? I mean, she's not alive, but is there issues between her and her mom that need to be worked out? What are you picking
Hopefully-
up? Is there issues you need to work on?
What I pick up is there's issues that need to be resolved, but her mom has health issues, and her mom is expending a lot of energy because of the health issues and wanting them to have resolved, especially compacted with everything that is going on with Corona, because she just wants to make sure everything is, if anything would happen, that it's like that there's that clearance. There's no unsaid things, and that's what I get between that.
Yeah.
So she's
I have
saying nope,
issues
not at all.
not at all.
Hmm.
So she has no health issues.
Or there's no,
No issues.
yeah.
Hmm.
Cassandra, can you clarify that for us? Just because it's hard to tell when we're in conversation. Danny Green says your loved ones give you signs.
Could there be something that your mom hasn't told you?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I feel like there's something left unsaid, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And you roll with it, Linda.
I have to agree with you. I just feel that it's like there's something left unsaid, like a secret, or something needs to be, maybe she needs to discuss the will or what she wants her final things to be. You know what I mean?
Something to
There's
get off
something
her
there.
chest. Yeah, something to get off her chest. Something that needs to be clarified. I'm
Yeah.
in agreement. Yeah.
So it may not be like you're at each other's throat issue, but it could be something left unsaid on your mom's part. And yes, the bear bombs are everywhere.
And yes, and she does have a lot of health issues. So she did validate what I said.
Okay, good. So there could be she wants to do end of life planning,
Yeah.
but she's afraid to approach the subject for fear that it's going to hurt Cassandra's feelings, or you know what I mean? Because a lot
Or
of times
upset her.
kids don't
That's
wanna
never an
deal with
easy conversation.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with that. I feel like she wants to put things on the table because with everything going on, she doesn't know what will ever happen, and it's better to do things now and have that conversation than pass and not have that conversation.
because it was hard for me to get my son and grandson in the same room to plan my
Yeah.
funeral when I was so sick 3 years ago. But
Yeah,
it was something I knew I needed to do because all I want them to do when I pass is make a phone call.
yeah,
Everything else is done. They make a phone call to the funeral home takes over and does everything. They don't
Yeah.
have mess.
yeah,
I had that mess with my mother-in-law, and it was awful because we didn't know
Yeah.
what she wanted. So it's hard to talk to your kids and broach that topic with them.
yeah.
You know how hard that is, but
Hmm.
it's needed.
Yeah,
really is.
It really is. And as we grow
Well-
older, I mean, like I said, these things that we contemplate because we have experienced things with our own parents passing that we don't want to pass on to our children. And,
Right.
you know, yeah, and so it is that, oh my God, even at me, I'm thinking about, you know, I have health issues, but, you know, I want to have that conversation with them just so we know that if anything happens, this is what I want.
Yeah, but like I said, they didn't want to hear it, but I kind of forced the issue, and I'm glad I did.
So all I want to say is we're starting to get questions as we do for
Mhm.
Linda.
Okay.
I just want to throw this out there. We have Linda here, who is very talented. We have Zarina here, who's very talented. And then we have Danny Green, who's jumping in as well. So if you have questions, apparently this is the time to do it because you're gonna get a trifecta. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there. So here, real quick, Cassandra here. She says she has COPD, emphysema, asthma, and lung cancer. Yikes! I am so sorry. Both of my parents have everything planned out. I guess I'm just worried about her. Maybe. Stress dreams are the worst.
Maybe she needs to hear that it's okay that she goes now.
Mhm.
That you're going to be all right. Maybe
Yeah.
she needs to have that talk with you that,
Yeah.
you know, I'm dying. There's a good chance I could pass.
Yeah.
Maybe she just needs to talk to you about that and have you accept it, because you're not accepting it. You tell her,
Yeah.
no, everything's fine. You're going to be great. You're going to live forever. You know, so
Mhm.
maybe that has to do with it.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot. My dad had a lot of those things too. And a little bit of a side story, they sent him home on hospice. And before the hospice nurse got there, my dad said, Linda, did they send me home to die? You know, I was a nurse for 20 some years. Before I could answer, the doorbell rang, and I thought, oh, good, the hospice nurse is here. So she comes in, she does everything, explains what they're there for, you know, comfort, not prolonging. She does the whole spiel. He signs the do not resuscitate order. He takes all of that, you know, and then she leaves, and I'm getting ready to leave. And he goes, Linda, and I go, what? He goes, you didn't answer my question. Did they send me home to die? And my mom jumps up. No, 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 you're going to get well. That's why they brought this in. You got new meds. You're going to get well. You're going to, and she just went off on a tangent, and Dad looked at me, and he would not take those blue eyes away from mine. And I finally just looked him, and, you know, I'm not going to lie to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, Dad, they did. There's nothing else more they can do to you but just make you comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what hospice is here for. It's to make your transition easier and comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he took a deep breath. He goes, thank you. Finally, someone just told me the truth so I can get ready. You know, but it was the hardest question for me to answer to my dad, you know.
Here, Lori Ann Huff says, hi, my mom has recently passed. Has she processed any messages yet? Anything about her passing?
Was it something to do with her stomach? I got the torso area. It could be chest. It could be stomach.
Oops.
Let's
see. We'll have to wait for her to respond.
I feel she's still processing. She must not have been over there very long, because I feel my guys are telling me she's still learning how to be spirit and doing the life review thing and all that stuff.
And Danny said the same thing. It says, Lori, your mom is still here.
Yep.
So we have 2 validations. That's awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love it when a show comes together. I feel like the freaking A-team right now. Woo!
Danny Green says he tastes blood. Ooh.
I think that's because the lung, something she's coughing up.
Or in the abdomen.
She
Okay.
could cough up from the stomach too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, there could have been a GI bleed somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Ooh, I just got a chill.
Uh-oh.
There's been a lot of them tonight.
I know, right? I'm telling you.
Here. Still where? Lorianne says, still where? Lorianne, they're saying that she's still here on an hour kind of existence.
Plane.
She hasn't crossed over yet. Yes, our plane. She hasn't crossed over yet to whatever the next place is, the spiritual realm, the heaven, or whatever you may call it.
Mm-hmm.
But she is processing. She's not in any stress or anything like that. But she might be making sure that the family is okay with her crossing and that they're going to be all right. Sometimes they stick around just to make sure we're okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Danny Green said. She's still being with you.
Are you able to let her go? Are you holding on to her? I held on to my dad when he crossed.
I feel like she should light a white candle for some reason and just kind of have that conversation with her, so she's able to process and let go and move forward and go into the light. And that's just how I kind of felt like maybe that needs to progress.
they found her in her car passed out.
That's what she says.
Did they do an autopsy to find out what might have been going on?
Oh, look at this. Joe Campbell
Yeah,
says spirits traveling between the two ladies, giving them chills.
it's happening before we got on air too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So Lori she's asking, so is she not ready yet?
Are you hanging on to her, honey? Are you having trouble letting her go?
She is. She has guilt.
She's saying no, we declined. I don't know what that means.
So you and her didn't have a good relationship at her crossing. Am I reading that right? I agree with Danny. If you guys had issues between you when she passed, she may want to communicate some things to you and work some issues out.
I feel like there's that exchange from guilt that needs to be let go, and also forgiveness. I feel like there's just she wants to come. Whew, I feel like she wants to. Yeah, she wants to say that she was sorry. It kind of felt like she said that. I felt like she's saying that there were things that she didn't do that she knew wasn't exactly right. She didn't always make the best choices, but she loved you, and sometimes she just didn't know how to show it. But she did love you.
Okay, you were ready because she was ill for a while. So you were ready for her crossing. What do you need to say to her?
Danny Green says she wants to talk.
Yeah.
Lori, do you have someone who is a medium in your area? I don't know where you're from. That you might be able to contact that might facilitate connecting your mom and you together. I don't know if that would help. What do you all think?
I'm in agreement. She needs to have someone physical to help her, and even have her mom cross her, help that conversation facilitate. Whew, sorry, I'm getting a lot of energy push. And to be able to help her cross over to the light.
Yeah.
Bella, you coming in for night too?
Whew.
Bessie?
Danny's asking forgive. I think Sean asked forgive too.
Yeah. If she's saying it's time for you to release me and to let me go, that we cannot hold on to the past. The past is the past, and that we need to be present, and that the future is going to change in such an immense way that you have to just allow yourself to grow and evolve, and just let it go, just to let it go, and just to know that you're safe, and that she's safe, and that just allow that us to move from that transition period to transformation. Whew, for that healing to take place, for her to be released to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they were supposed to talk some family issues right before she passed, so maybe she still needs for you and her to talk about those family issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Green says she's saying, please forgive me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We should just have Danny Green join us.
You know what I want to say is that I feel like there was some paperwork that did not get resolved. I don't know. It's just something that was left undone. I don't know what that is, but she does show me paperwork and something that is indicated that maybe you hadn't found, or something. It's just not. I don't know if it's something that has to do with probate or something like that. But I just want to let you know that does show up for me. I don't know if that resonates. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the energy when it gets strong with me, it literally kicks my breath out. So it's just like pumped up, it's pumping right now. And then I got Archangel Michael just like, and I'm like, okay. It doesn't help. I'm holding labradorite and selenite too at the same time. So because I'm trying to ground myself with Linda, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I need to get something else because I'm like, yeah.
That's good, Kathy Centauri. It is your purpose to deliver the message that you are sent to give. It doesn't matter if others accept the message.
Truth.
That's pretty much what we said. It's like,
Yeah.
put it out there, and the ones who are supposed to get it. Now, I've also come across people that sit down for readings. This doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened 3 or 4 times where they sit down and I literally get a blank brick wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not picking up anything at all.
Yeah.
And I won't BS my way through a reading.
Me neither.
You know? So it's like, I'm not picking up anything. I'm getting this red brick wall. It won't let me. So I'm going to tell you, don't take your ticket up, get your money back and go to another psychic. Maybe they'll have a message. And you know what's really interesting? Lo and behold, their psychic did have the message. So they got what they came there for.
And that has happened to me because I have a different type of discernment. And then also I have found too that when people have a lot of hitchhikers or like a demonic attachment, I've had to kind of like separate the person between talking to the person and that demonic attachment, because they'll try it. I'm like, no, I got you, boo, because I know who you are. I said, let me check that. You know what I'm saying? So I've come up against that too. Melvin says this might be something that you can answer, but what does it feel like when you receive messages? Do they come from a voice, a feeling, a vision, etc.? Can this be turned off? I reckon it could get annoying at times, especially if you're on the throne room, the bathroom. Melvin, I love you.
Melvin's the best.
He is. He is so super awesome sauce.
Actually, for me, it's all the above. Voice, feeling, vision, just knowing something is this. I do turn off. I learned very early on how to open up, but I also learned how to shut it down. Mine, I don't mind if they come to me in the bathroom. I do mind though if I'm sleeping and they stand at my bed and stare at me.
Yeah.
Because when I wake up, those first few seconds, I don't know if it's human or spirit.
Right.
It's the same. And if it's human, they're there to do me harm.
Yeah. And I have a machete.
Wants my help.
Well, see, I put a machete beside my bed. His name is Chuck, for like Chuck Norris. So I just make sure, but I'm not good.
I still have a 357 Magnum.
I love you so much.
That's what's under my pillows at 57. But no, if I don't know if they're human or spirit. Yeah. Spirit is asking for my help. Yeah. They're not there to harm me. A human would be.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I always wake up startled and I scream so I tell them, if you want to get my attention, you look at Sean. If you want my attention, come to me when I'm awake, but don't come to me in the bedroom.
Well, and that's too, because especially, well, for me, the bathroom's off limits, and of course, if you're getting jiggy with it with your dude or your whatever, you don't want people watching. You know what I'm saying? But also, what I have to say is that I also am scent sensitive, so I smell energy signatures. So whether you're of the light, whether it's fae, whether it's a dark entity, or just when I get the visions, I have been very overwhelmed by scents at time, just because that, I don't know if you're like that, but I know that's very strong.
Got a wolf nose.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I've got the wolf nose. I smell scents of people.
Yeah.
Oh, if Bear would touch somebody else, I would smell their scent on him. It's sometimes it's no bother.
It is, and it feels weird because, sometimes I used to carry coffee just to clear my nose because, or like a roller of like energy, the certain chakra energy oil I used to have, because like when you run across somebody who's got not a nice energy signature, who's has like violence or drugs or especially pedophiles or anything of that nature, you that smell is like it takes your breath away. It's just this vile feeling that you can't even imagine. And like when I was doing a missing case of a girl, one of the first things I experienced is the smell of her decomposing body, and that's something you can't get out of your nose, not for a while.
Okay, real quick, Melvin says he wants to smell like chocolate on a hot chocolate on a winter evening. Okay, now guys, I have Danny on the line. He's going to jump in and join us. Okay.
Okay. I just have to say Melvin has hot chocolate, but he has marshmallows. Hi, Danny. Hi, Serena. Oh my God, this is so awesome. Okay.
You goober. I just saw you a couple hours ago.
I know, right?
Jeez.
So no, this is really cool. So we have this real quick. Linda. Okay, we lost you for a second. We lost you for a second. We now have 3 great psychic mediums on the line here. So this is awesome. Danny, you were just like tapping in and helping people as they're asking. I'm like, why doesn't Danny just join us? It'll be great. So,
well, actually, so here I see them, feel them, and smell them and everything. And then her mom's Lori came forward to my house and everything. She just came forward, her body and everything. It's interesting. Wow. So I can sense everything.
Oh wow. I only feel things. I smell things sometimes. Every once in a while I'll see spirit, but it's not very often. It still startles me when that happens. Is that weird?
Well, try to have it every day. It's like I have one right now, like it goes always in my hallway, and he's like,
see that's why I stopped kind of like for a while. I stopped like with opening and training myself for that. Because I wasn't okay, so I was on this investigation and I saw a spirit of a little girl and it scared the crap out of me and I yelled. I like screamed like a little girl myself. And I felt bad. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for this. I probably scared that little girl. You know, I think and I felt bad that I did that. I was like, well, I'm not ready for this, so I'm gonna back off. But that was a couple years ago, and I feel like now things might be changing whether I want them to or not. So
it is you actually evolving and leveling up, and I told you this. And what we wanted to tell you is that the last show that we did with John Delgado, we had a hitchhiker pop through after that show that was attached to Sean.
He was attached to me.
And Danny, he likes Danny. So he's been sticking with Danny. I feel so bad.
I have to banish him. He's still in my house and everything, so I have to banish him.
Oh, jeez.
It's like some people don't like do protection, and it's like, okay, there's a hitchhiker here and everything. So it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then we had one today flip a dime completely across the desk.
Oh wow!
See, so my great grandmother was showing me something like, okay. Because she actually
when paranormal investigators, they smell something on investigation, we call it a phantom smell. And actually, I believe I experienced that when I was at oh my God, my brain just went Franklin Castle. I was at the Franklin Castle at some unbeknownst time, and I smelled wine down in the basement. It was the straw. It was like literally like someone just like put a glass of red wine right underneath my nose. That's how clearly
maybe someone was drinking with you, wanted you to drink.
Maybe I would have loved to have one. I'm not against it.
You never know, because spirits like to show things and anything. Like, hey, let's have wine.
Yeah. So here, Tracy Klein, she keeps on. She's asked a couple questions. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where her question started.
She was asking. She's the sister of. She's the sister of the girl. So she was asking specific questions. But I think what's going to need to happen to that is they're going to have someone sit with them that is focused with them, and a personal session because there's only so much the spirit's going to be able to release to us within an open, forum, just because out of respect of spirit, we can say what we are released to say, but some things as specific, I don't know if Linda agrees with me, that needs to be private.
I get messages for people and I allude to something, but then I get this ivy colored wall with the private sign on it. And spirits tell me it's none of my business what the issue is, but they're saying we need to work this out.
Right.
You know what it is. And it's like, I don't need to know, because sometimes it's really, really personal.
Yeah. And that's what I say. I think, it would be better for her to be able to contact someone, that could give her that personal focus in that. And I'm in agreement, because like when I get that, I love your vision of the ivy, but mine is just like a bright light. And it's just like, I feel like my eyes just go complete white, and they're just like, no, that's not the time. It's not this, So, but I love the ivy. The ivy is really significant for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know it, but it always was like on a brick wall with the ivy and the word private, like if you were going into an Ivy school kind of a feel.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know I don't cross that barrier.
Liverpool. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
From across the
UK.
Hey, that's where my family's from.
All right. Yes, I'm so super excited.
Really late or early there. Like,
yes.
Wow.
Hey, Amanda Cox, do you know Frank Humphreys? He's from your area too. He's a paranormal investigator over there. He's a little bit famous. He does a lot of paranormal shows.
Nice.
I don't know if you know him or not.
I have a question for all three of you. Linda, my grandfather passed last year. They were asking if they passed out. Would you be able to tell if he passed? Is he staying with my grandmother?
Well, he went into the light. I don't feel that he really hung around, but he went into the light. But yeah, he is with your grandma. He processed. He's hale-hearted. He's fine. He knows what it's like to be spirit, and he can come and go as he pleases. He's not earthbound or anything, but he chooses to stay with your grandma.
And I feel like
a lot of spirit do.
And I do feel like there's another male spirit within him that he's buddies with,
Yeah, like a brother or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Haskell?
Yes.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Haskell? Okay.
That energy just.
I just got the chills too. Wow.
So that's him basically telling you, Sean, he's around you right now, and he's just brushing up on you.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, if you can't believe, and then he comes and brushes up and everything. That's when the chills show up and everything, and basically the girls are getting goosebumps. I've been getting goosebumps a lot and everything. For you, your grandfather, he's actually part of your life and everything, and your kids' life.
Very much
awesome.
so.
Yeah, like I said,
they were born, actually.
He's not stuck, but he likes to visit your grandma.
Especially holding hands.
Well, yeah, they were married for 70 years. 70 years, guys. Yeah, that's a lifetime. Yeah.
Tracy Klein is in my area. We were supposed to meet, but we had to cancel.
Yeah.
So private message me and we'll see if we can set something up. When we get together, if you can bring something of your mom's, like a picture or a piece of jewelry or something like that I can hold, it helps me connect a lot faster that way. I can't guarantee that I can connect with her, but I will do my best to do so. But that does help me connect faster.
Awesome. Hi from Doncaster. Okay.
Is that in the UK too as well?
I think so.
That is fantastic.
Sounds like it.
It sounds bananas.
Amanda says she hasn't heard him.
Oh, okay.
Darla Dunn says, I've smelled. I'm sorry. Yeah. Darla says she smelled a lot of stuff on investigations, but the full body apparitions was a blast. Best, of course. That's like the holy trinity of a paranormal investigation is that full body apparition. Yeah. Tracy says, "Thank you. I will." Yeah, I remember, Linda, when I was in Ectovision, I didn't get to meet you at this time, but you were interviewed for our investigation at
Yes.
the Stagecoach.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were there, we got a phantom smell of lavender. I think it was
Oh,
lavender.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was either lilac or lavender. I know it started with
Yeah.
an L. I don't remember, but I do remember the Buckeye incident. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
My friend and I was investigating around, and I was standing on one end of the staircase. She was walking through, and all of a sudden this Buckeye just kind of comes over her shoulder and falls down and rolls right between my legs. It's like, who threw that? Where did it come from? It just come from behind her. It was thrown. And it's like, that was a really cool experience that the two of us had. But that was kind of fun.
That
my
place
bear
is such a cool place.
No, it wasn't a pissed off squirrel. It was. Leanne and I were screaming and ran with the squirrel.
Oh my God.
Bear's awesome.
Little girls on
Yeah.
There's a pissed off squirrel. Get out of here. You're messing me up.
But that was really cool that came out of nowhere like that and right over her shoulder. And there was nobody behind her. I mean, nothing. Except a pissed off squirrel, I guess, you know.
Squirrel gravy.
Darla says she's still waiting to capture the Holy Grail video. You know what? I think we all really are.
Yeah.
So
I got my Holy Grail.
Just wait in line, girl.
Right?
Just wait in line.
The Stagecoach Inn. Another time I was there because that place is so fantastically haunted. It's such a it's so sad what's happening in that building. It's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I got a disembodied cough. I asked for a sign if they wanted us to leave. You know, it's that old trick, right? Like the old thing saying, you know, if you don't want us to be here, let it be known in one way or another. You know, tap us, make a noise. We got like the most clear. It sounded like a disembodied cough. It was like everybody heard it. There was like 5 of us, and we were on the very top landing of the stairs. And we had one person who was literally sitting on the step. I was sitting on the chairs on top of the landing of the step, and someone else was like over by the doorway of the Bible room, and they were just like kind of spread out through that little area. All of us heard this disembodied cough. Actually, I had the video of that on YouTube somewhere. That place is just so amazing. Another time I was there, we didn't capture it. The camera shut off, but the Bible was thrown off of that the fireplace. That is one thing that is said that happens. I didn't believe it, but we were down in that little break room, you know, and we heard a loud thud, and we purposely put the Bible up on the fireplace, and it was literally not just like it fell over, but it was feet away from the fireplace. The camera turned off, and that happened. So of course we didn't capture it on camera. I swear they do that on purpose. I don't know. It's a theory of mine because
it's a little too
good stuff never. Sometimes. Right? How do they know? Darn it!
Sometimes they somebody. Energy, though.
You know, Zarina and Danny, they must have better psychics than what we are because they always know just where to put the camera to catch it. Yeah. Did you ever notice that in those shows on TV?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like, how do they know?
Like, how does spirit know when we have a camera going? If they're a spirit from like the 1700s, how do they know what a camera is? And how do they know?
Because they can feel the energy. You know that, right, Sean?
Yeah, they can feel the energy, but how do they know?
They can feel like electrons and anything, like the electrons and anything. They can feel like the electric going on, and they can shut off things a lot and everything. And they don't want you to see it, anyone to see it.
The vibrations. You know what? Sometimes I think about is what if they had like this in my mind. This is craziness, but what if spirits had their own like afterlife reality show of when they're interacting with us and they're actually filming us up there. Yeah, and they're watching us paranormal. What is monkey with?
They're probably watching the VCR and they're like laughing about it.
They're monkeying with us and laughing their ass off at us.
They're probably having popcorn and everything, and they're just up in the attic laughing their asses off for sure.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. You know,
they're screaming out like little girls, like some of our investigators do.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I know. Or like, or better yet, they're like, they see Sean Lynn, and then this is most of that 80% of the ghosts. Let's touch Sean's butt and see what he does.
They're like, look, they're like giving us like wet willies. Like, let me check this out, guys. I have been touched in the butt, and I've seen other people get touched in other places, and I've been touched like all over my head. Actually, when I go investigate, I purposely don't wear a hat because I'm looking for that type of experience. So I welcome that, as long as it's and you know what though, as long as I've been doing this, I've never been scratched. I've never been scratched. No.
Wow.
When
I
was
scratched, bruised, battered, I come out with two black eyes and a nose one time.
Go ahead.
Do you think that has to do with like the shielding I do, the protection I do for myself?
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. And one of the things I have to tell you, I was clearing a house one time of a not so nice, demonic energy, and I was literally like, when it left to go out, it literally hit me like with a blunt force, as if an NFL football player was tackling somebody, and it literally knocked me off of I caught myself like that, but it had a force, and it was not nice. And like Linda said, I've had literally fingerprints that you could tell like where something grabbed me and pulled me. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Sean, just a couple months, before I had my knee replacement in December, remember I messaged you and I said something attacked me out in the yard. Now I've got my house very well protected, but I have my sidewalk area protected. And I come in and I felt like somebody just pushed me like that, like so hard that I fell forward. I fell so hard on the ground, I literally knocked myself out.
Wow.
My hands up in time or anything. It was just boom, and I was down. Barry ended up having to take me to the hospital because, I was unconscious for a few moments. So, concussion, whatever. But then I got that black nose, the black eyes and the bloody nose, doing a message circle because I got up to disconnect from the spirit who was bullying me. Next thing I know, bam, I'm stuck and my eyes are crossed and down I go. But before that happened to me, I will be honest, I thought people who said they got touched or scratched or hurt by a spirit were lying. I thought they were making it up. I really did. Yeah. And then when I got hit like that, it's like, wow, this is for real. The spirit can hurt you.
Especially
and it really changed my whole way of looking at it.
And everything. I've actually experienced a lot when I was like younger. I'm 36. I was aged 20 until I was 28. I physically got choked in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And everything. It wrapped around me all the time. And everything. And I found out what it was, and I finally broke it.
Good.
And everything. So it was just something that attached to me. I didn't protect myself at the time because it was hard and everything. And it's just attacked me. And every time I got up, my partner saw my neck was so red and everything. He's like, "What the heck did you do to yourself?" I said, "Nothing. Why?" And it's weird.
And that's what I would have to say about a lot of the investigators that, going in, just to make sure that even though you may not believe in certain things, there is that, off chance. If you don't believe 10% of that, that's 10% is seems like a small margin, but, I'd rather take, a pound of cure than, you know what I'm saying? And just protect myself, because you just don't know sometimes what is out there that's, will represent itself as a friendly spirit, but can turn real harsh real quick. Yeah.
And they like to screw up things and everything, and it sucks, especially with your electronics.
Yeah, exactly. And, I found like a lot of the time, the ones that are the mimickers are they're like con artists. They like that long, poke and provoke kind of thing, just to get you interested, and then they really turn up the heat.
You know, I was doing cleansings and stuff for quite a while, and I went in thinking that I could. I guess I went in with a almost like a superiority attitude, that I had all the answers and I could take care of it. And that was a really big mistake on my part.
Yeah.
Because I literally died 3 times. I was brought back, but wow. I died 3 times doing these cleansings and stuff. And because I had things attached to me, I didn't realize it. And it's like, so my spirit guides have told me, no, you're not doing any more cleansings. Yeah. Because I don't have the right attitude to do it. You got to recognize your own limitations. Yeah. And that's a limitation with me. So I don't do those anymore. I'll tell people how to do it. Yeah. But I encountered a succubus, and it just went downhill from there.
I think for me, I will tell you this. I come from a shamanic background. I come from where I learned conjure magic, and then I moved into being a chaos magician. And I understand, and I term myself as a gray witch. I walk between the light and the dark, and I embrace both, so I understand how to deal with each according. And because I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And being native, and I'm also have some gypsy in there. I learned just a different way of things, I guess. And you do have to have a certain ability and authority, but then there's also things that that you have to discern. Like, there's some things you just got to step away with, just because it's just not worth you dying, or worth wherever it is. And sometimes it's left to its own device, and you just have to walk away.
I agree. So I stopped doing the cleansings and stuff because of that.
Yeah. And now, I know for me that I do use a lot of sage. I do use a lot of Florida water. I like my own mix of rue and a little bit of everything. I like my herbs, but I definitely know that I my big guy is Archangel Michael, and if I'm ever in doubt, he's got a swift wing and a sword to kind of really deal with everything and anything. And I'm very grateful that I get the opportunity to have that, that divine relationship with him. And it's very powerful. I channel, and I'm able to speak within different, deities and, different things. And it's just really showed me, the different aspects of power and magic and energy. And that's what I love about Danny. Danny's my angel boy. He works the light, and we work really well together when it comes to the angel part of us.
Like someone just said, Amanda Cox just said her, I'm sure my Nana was looking over my mom and anything, and she's asking for her hand. I'm going to tell you this, as Serena said, I'm an angel person. I'm going to heal, call Raphael for 2 of them and anything to heal them. It takes some time, but don't give up, okay? Because the angels will help you through the tough times and anything,
So just to kind of reiterate what Amanda said, she said, I'm sure my Nana was looking over my mom last week. She has COPD and was very ill. Refused to go to the hospital, but she stayed, starting to feel better, and just thankfully. And can you please send healing for my 2 aunties? They both have lung cancer.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And I'm going to call on Raphael for them to heal their lungs and anything, and it takes time to heal. You have to believe in angels to help you. If you don't believe in that, then there's no hope and anything. For me, I've had to change it around and everything. I've been on my journey since I was 30. I've been on this journey for 6 years, and I don't change things, because there is miracles happening every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Even in these dark times.
Now, people, right now we have that coronavirus and everything. People say we're all going to die from it. No, some they're healing. There is healing, I believe I call on Raphael every night to heal those nurses and the doctors and the people who are trying to survive this.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part.
We need to pray for our healers. We need to pray for those ones that are on the front lines, that are tired, that are weary, that are just in that place of unrest, and they still go back to their families, or they go back and they sit down at their kitchen table and just cry. And I've seen these visions, and it breaks your heart because they're exhausted mentally, physically, and spiritually, because they've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
I've read articles about nurses who are sleeping in their cars because they don't want to bring the corona home. I've read about hospitals that are getting their nurses and doctors hotel rooms so that they don't risk bringing it home. I couldn't imagine. I mean, my wife, she's a baker at a grocery store, and she goes and she comes home to us and I mean, thankfully she's a baker and she's not directly in it, but she's still out in it. It's very nerve-wracking. I couldn't imagine having someone who is a nurse. I have a very good friend who's a nurse practitioner for university hospitals in downtown Cleveland, and she's right there. She was doing the drive-through tests that they were doing in the tents, and I couldn't imagine that. And and on top of that, I couldn't imagine being her husband and her children. And I think and that's exactly what I think of when I think of our servicemen and our people, when they go to war. It's not just them. What about their families? What they go through? It's a commitment, and it's something that everybody is a part of. And so when you think of somebody, our soldiers who are overseas and our nurses, it's not just them who are giving up things in their life for us. It's their entire families. It's a commitment from everybody, and it's amazing what people do in times like this.
Especially when people are actually dying from the coronavirus, they're alone, because they can't bring their loved ones and everything. And it's scary, and I understand that. But like my partner, I'm scared because I have asthmatic. Luckily, I have not gotten it in anything. I'm very thankful for that. But the doctor told me, because I had cancer last year, say I have a good chance of getting this. And
because your immunity is so low. So
I actually pray to my angels and everyone out in this world to just be cautious and anything. Keep your head up and everything. Be smart.
Yeah.
I do want to say that Melvin has a question. If it's okay if I read it, Sean, is that good?
Go right ahead.
Question for everyone: how do you help someone who can't move on and they aren't still here by choice? What are some of the different reasons people say? And do you know what awaits us on the other side?
The people that I have worked with, like I said, I have crossed over 4 times. So I got to see what's on the other side. And honestly, I was very angry that I was sent back.
I wasn't.
I like it over there. I
actually seen like Linda too. I agree with her. And everything.
Yeah,
I've been on the other side myself, and everything, and it's peaceful, and it's very nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about being sick and anything. You can actually be at peace with everything, and you can see your loved ones. Everyone asks, "Do you see your loved ones?" Yes, you do. At the bridge, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I didn't because it wasn't my time, and because I was looking for people. Yeah, and this voice come from everywhere just said, "It's not your time. No one's here to greet you. You have to go back." And I remember arguing with that entity that I don't want to go back. I want to stay, but they keep shipping me back. And Bear's very happy they ship me back. But each time it's like, it really ticks me off,
Like, come on.
It is. It's just
what I have found talking to Spirit, and maybe Danny and Zarina have this too, that their heaven is unique to them.
Yeah.
If some people like being in the mountains, they're in the mountains. If they like being on the ocean, they're by the ocean. Whatever you think your heaven is, your happy place, that's kind of what your heaven is like. So it's different for everybody.
Is it like the movie What Dreams May Come?
No.
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I love that
I've
movie.
But usually when I connect with spirit over there, they're doing stuff that they really enjoy doing. So they're having a good time. They visit family here. They've got family there. And sometimes they've got jobs. Sometimes they greet people who are new that come over that don't have family, or they meet people that come over unexpectedly and they're not quite ready to accept that they're there. So they get counseling and they get help. But a lot of times if they don't want to go into the light, the ones that I have found, they're afraid.
Yeah.
Because of their religious dogma in this life, they think they're going to go to hell.
That's right.
And
Exactly.
they're afraid of the judgment. And they don't want to go into that light because if they do, they're going to be judged and they're going to go to hell. Now, I have seen stories of people who feel they went to hell with near-death experiences. I'm not going to discount that. But I haven't met anybody yet in spirit or any of the times I went over that there was a hell. If there is, I never saw it, and I don't have any evidence that there is.
I experienced something like that.
What if this is hell?
Yeah.
I think there's different dimensional parts of everything, of heavens and hells. But I will tell you, Linda, and maybe in a conversation we'll have just with us, of what I experienced when I went and had an experience in that realm. It was quite interesting, and then I was sent back, and I learned a lot. I've been to both sides, put it that way.
Okay.
And then, to answer, Melvin's second question, this is a weird one. Where do aliens come from?
Where did that come from? Wait a minute.
What? I'm reading.
Oh no, I missed it.
Well, what I was going to say to that is,
where do aliens get?
Yeah,
probably their idea of heaven.
Yeah, and
I think
that's
we're aliens.
I think there's different realms and different dimensions, and there's timelines and time loops and time space. And like when I do a meditation with someone, I do a guided meditation to clear things.
Oh, he wants to know. He wants to know where they go when they pass away. But first of all, I want to say this: I think that we're aliens on this planet.
Oh, Sean, you're an alien for sure.
We all are. That's what I think.
Like what Serena said, you're an oddball, but it's
okay.
Okay.
Hey, Andrew.
Okay, so like someone asked about where we passed and anything. Like I'm agreeing with Linda there and anything, and I've talked to Serena about this in person. Basically, there is a journey you have to go through to see where your past life was and anything. If you can't, then you have to view that life expand. That's why you lived on this earth so long. And everything, but some people live short term. Like for me, I've lived a short term, but I came back and everything, but I have not given up my life and anything. But I've seen heaven myself twice and anything, and it's kind of scary, but you gotta understand they're not there to hurt you. They're there to welcome you and to be okay. But there is a path and anything. There's a bridge and anything, but there is a bridge. You have to step up and anything. And guess what? There is a tunnel. There's a long tunnel before you go into your life path. While you're doing that, you have to visual. You're on your left and anything. Your past lives. What happened? If you cheated, if you stole when you were a kid, you never know. You have to view those lives and to forgive and anything. And then on your right side is basically you got to come back and learn, and you're not ready to come to terms and anything. And it's basically, my myth is basically there's a circle of your family to welcome you to the other side. It's like a cross, basically. I just recently learned that 2 years ago on my book, reading my book, doing a book. And it was weird and anything because everyone asked me, do you believe in hell? Not really, because I feel like we're hell on earth because we're struggling every day. Everyone's losing their jobs or they're sick or getting cancer. We can't stop it, but at the same time, we have to be okay. I've had cancer 3 times in my life, and guess what? I came out of it, but I'm still struggling. Every 6 months, I get that text and anything. I'm scared and it's like end of my life. But sometimes you have to enjoy life. You know, my aunt died when she was 42 years old. She was not that very old. You know, I'm 36. She passed. You know, that happens. But certain ages can survive and everything. Maybe it's like a lottery ticket. It's your time to come and anything, but it's not.
Now, Cassandra kind of brings up what I wanted to ask about. And here, before I bring up her question, actually, what about when you have like multiple lives on, reincarnation?
Mm-hmm.
How does that, like, so when it's your time to go, like, is it my kind of theory? Like, I've spent many nights up thinking, and my theory is like, is it that like you keep on coming back until you've learned everything that you're supposed to, and then once you've taken in all of that, then it's time.
It's your time. I actually done that with
then you go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of like do that, and that's why you like come back in like in different lives. So you come back to a different life to learn whatever else until you are done learning. And then once you learn, is that when you get to go on to heaven?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
it's
basically
like a journey.
Yeah, you basically ascend. And I will tell you, I'm really old. My first original point of into this life cycle is I was in Sumerian. I am one of the 13 original witches from Samaria. And as I've evolved in my life through Egypt, through all different time periods of coming back, I have got to this point of progression. And I have known since I was 18 years old, basically the age when I was going to pass. And I know this is my last life cycle. And this is why I feel like I guess I'm in a hurry to get all this stuff done to make sure. Because like once I go, I am not coming back. Peace out. I'm out of here. I'm eating pistachio ice cream. I'm just saying.
Pistachio. Okay.
But sometimes there is like certain signs, they come back, like I'm a Pisces and she's a Scorpio. We're water. But at the same time, I'm still learning as I go, because I've been on this planet since since the early age and everything, and I'm not done yet.
With this question,
I started out an Oracle of Delphi, so I've had a lot, and I'm hoping this is going to be my last go round.
I feel like for when I get this resonation with you, I see you in a white temple, Linda, and I feel like, to me, I feel the presence of Athena, the goddess. It just came across just so strong with me, even in scent and everything. And I feel like I see you writing in a book in a past life, and it was almost like you were like a record keeper, like you were acquainted with the priestesses of Athena in that time period, and that is why you're so strong in a lot of your giftings as an oracle, not just a psychic, but I hear that word oracle for you, and
there's those goosebumps again.
It's very strong.
Yeah, and that's why I see your hair that's snow white, because of that purity of you being that oracle in that sense. And I see like this white scribe bowl that I see your face looking into that bowl, and that you would just deliver those messages, and you were very very much counted on in that time period to deliver messages to win war or whenever, but you were very prized in that lifetime.
Might be why this time around, when I give the message, I let it go.
Yeah.
If you asked me that day, I probably could remember, but if you ask me the next day, I have no clue. It goes in and goes out.
And that is me. I tell most of the clients that you need to bring a notebook or record it, because the frequency and the energy is so fast that I cannot retain anything, because especially if I start to channel, because when I channel, Zarina takes a back seat, and in comes whatever, that happened with me and Danny today. He has a relative that's very strong, and she hijacked me today, and I was backseat, and I'm used to that. That's not a problem. But Danny was just kind of like, yeah, it cracked him up a little bit because
I was like, she ain't coming because she has she's talking about my sixth grandmother. She was a witch and anything, and in my side of the family, and she was claimed to be doing witchcraft and anything, and she got hung for it.
Yeah,
she did trial, and she got hung for it, and her husband got off of it because he was supposedly a warlock and anything. So, but he actually got off of it and anything. So his court got not guilty. Now my grandmother, not so much, because that's where my linkage is from and everything. And it's like, okay. And it's like, she's always by my side because I can go the warlock way, but I don't, because I don't want to go do the spirit evil way.
But it was very,
we have a couple more things here. And it's already getting to be a little bit late. Just real quick, just kind of getting to Cassandra's question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but just kind of moving forward. So it's a two-part question for everybody. When you do in-depth readings, do you go to past lives or just this life?
I actually travel. I actually travel and anything. I do travel and everything. People ask me, how do you do this and anything? I take their hands and meditate for a second and to see their energy, and to see if they've been only on this earth for like one time or 2 or 3 times. And it's basically everyone has lives previously and anything, because I know my next life is, because I'm going to be a woman. It's sad because I know what she looks like and I know what I'm going to be doing and anything.
It's not Celine Dion, Danny.
I know.
What about you? What about you, Linda?
Yeah, I do both. Actually, it depends on where the reading goes to. Some people come to me just for past life readings, and that's part of my toolkit.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they kind of leave it up to me, well, take me where you want me. I don't have any specific questions. And I get the urge, okay, we're going into past life. I delve into a past life and see how it could be affecting them in this life and what they need to do to learn, release, and let go and move on. So, yeah, I do a lot of that, but it depends on the person in the reading and what spirit wants them to know at that particular time. I'm kind of open to wherever spirit takes me in a reading.
And that's the same for me. I'm in agreement with what Linda said. Every experience, every reading is different. And we have to allow that process of that past life so we can understand karmic debt and help to release them. I usually say, like with people who want to release karmic debt, I break all past vows and contracts that no longer serve me through all time and space, and that allows them to free themselves and hit that reset button for them to be in this lifetime to really work on manifesting change in their lifetime or this lifetime.
One thing you may have found out too, like if, say, in a past life, we took a vow of poverty or chastity, or we lived in a community where all of our needs were provided for and we didn't need money. So here we are in this life, we may not know how to manage money. So we're always getting into money troubles. Or we took a vow of poverty or chastity and we wonder why we're poor and alone. Well, we haven't cut those cords from that past life. So that's why it's affecting us in this one. So, and it does help people once they cut those cords and move on. Things do change in this lifetime.
Yeah, I do.
Here, real quick, and Melvin, Melvin, I know you have another question. It's a great question. We need to get to it. But here, Laura Holmes, she tunes in every once in a while. She said her grandson was just born today. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yes. Now, with that, with everything that's going on, and Linda, I'm going to direct this question to you. With everything that's going on, and I mean, a lot of people are saying there's going to be a baby boom because we're all kind of locked in. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think that there's going to be, with this pandemic and we're losing more people than we normally would, is this going to bring in more lives? And what is that going to do for us spiritually?
I also think along with this, there's a spiritual awakening that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Okay. People are going to be turning to their religion or a spiritual side to get the answers they need for what's going on in the world. I think it's going to make us go back to maybe a more spiritual way of thinking. I'm hoping it does anyway.
Yeah, me too.
But I do think there's, every 100 years or so, we have a pandemic that wipes out a good majority of the population. I think it's nature's way of balancing the planet. Okay. Not that I wish people to die. No, I don't want that. But it is a way of purging the planet.
It is.
And it's healing the planet. Look at how the smog has gone down. Nature is rebounding tremendously during this time. So it's also a time of healing Mother Nature, which she needs because she's going through a lot of earth changes. Yeah. So I think all this is kind of working together, and I'm hoping people see it as, okay, this is a time for an awakening. This is the time for me to get in touch with my spiritual side. Yes. Maybe do more meditation, maybe kind of figure out what I'm doing here on planet Earth. So it's a time for growth as well. But I do see whenever you have a lot of the population being wiped out in a plague, yes, do have a baby boom. Maybe not in the next 9 months, but you do in the next couple generations. There's a baby boom again. And the Spanish flu, World War I, World War II, and Korea really knocked out our population here in the U.S. That's where my generation come in as the baby boomers.
And I think with this, with that, shift and change, we're going to see a different society happening with our children. And that they're going to be born more into what I like to call a different frequency, a different, spiritual, like Linda said, awakening, and that we are coming into an age where, religion and these restrictive, measures that has been placed on society, that's going to shift and change because people no longer want to be in a fear-based religion. I feel like people are sick of that. That it has no answers.
Another thing too that bothers me, and I don't know if it bothers you all, but I believe in prayer. I believe in asking the archangels to help. I understand the higher power, but it isn't always up to God.
No, it's not.
God doesn't make horrible things happen. Do you know what I mean? And he gets blamed. Why is God punishing us with this? Well, we're not being punished. This is just nature. Basically, it's just life evolving and things happen. It isn't God allowing it or not allowing it. It's just life. So, it's not a scapegoat either.
No. And I absolutely agree with Linda. And one of the most poignant things I think I learned this week that kind of shifted my perception is that when we don't need things, then we attract everything. And that changed my perception and a lot of things that are, applicative in my life and what am I really grateful for, So.
There's always lessons for curveballs too, Like I agree with Linda completely. There's curveballs every day and everything. It's different and everything. And it's like some of them are struggling with money, and it's a curveball. You have to figure it out, You can't depend on your parents or your grandparents. You have to figure it out. Like me, I've been learning my lessons each day since I was 16, Curveballs have been thrown at me, but guess what? I've learned my lessons and it's hard, but you have to learn those curveballs by yourself.
And if you keep getting the same curveball, it's because you're not getting the lesson. So it's repeating, and it comes in maybe a different form, but it's the same lesson. And Spirit keeps presenting it to you in a different form until you finally get it.
Yeah.
You know.
And today I'm very grateful because I did a fire cleansing with Danny today, and I feel like my spirit, just was really cleansed, and I let go of things that no longer serve me. And I think it's very important as we even clean our physical homes that we're always reminded to cleanse our spiritual selves, our spiritual temples, because we can pick up debris and stuff in our art field, especially as healers and psychics and empaths and things, and then we start to feel funkiness, and then it attracts more negative and things like that. So it's always just a reminder just to keep your spiritual house clean, just as you keep your physical house clean, because it makes a big difference in how you're going about your everyday life.
Melvin asked an interesting question.
Yes, he did. And I said we're going to get back to it, too.
Yeah.
So
I
do
think we do
not get a choice? Hold on. Let me read it so that we have people that I'm also on Spreaker, so not everybody can see the screen. So do we not get a choice if we want to come here or not? And who the heck decides who goes there? So I kind of to build off of his question a little bit. Who decides, like, when we go into our next life? Who decides that will be our life? Who decides that they're going to be born to a drug addict parent? Who decides that you're going to be born to a multi-billionaire parent? How do these things work? Answering his question too, I just kind of want to build off of that, because that's something that I've thought about a lot. And again, bringing up God, I know people that don't believe in God because of these very things. Why would God allow this to happen? So I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
Okay, I'll start. For me personally, I feel that we get with our guides and angels in this place where we're resting, in between lives, we're spirit, and we decide what we want to experience so that we can grow spiritually, so our spirit can evolve.
Is that everybody?
And we make a blueprint of sorts, so that when we come back here, if I get sent to maybe this lifetime, I get the millionaire. Okay, maybe there's lessons I need to learn about being responsible and being a philanthropist and helping others. Next time I might come back dirt poor, where I've got to learn that I have to work hard for everything I got, so my spirit itself can evolve. And when we finish that blueprint that we set up before we come down here, I think that's when we get to go back home. Our job is done and we get to pass and we get to go home. So the reason I keep getting sent back is I'm not done with my blueprint yet. I've got what I need to do.
And I feel that too. Yeah.
I do think that I was either high or drunk when I developed my blueprint this time around, because I overestimated my coping abilities on some things. So I think I'm drunk over there.
That's the freaking truth.
Like, whoa, what was I thinking?
Well, I think it must have been mushrooms, because I felt like how my heritage is and everything else. I threw all this stuff in the crock pot and turned that shit up on high, and I'm like, let's let it, see what kind of soup we're making today, with some kind of psychic soup with Zarina. So, but I do have to say, within the traditions that I've learned, it is like, the guides or the angels or the guardians or whatever. But like for me, also coming out of a Yoruba tradition, we call it Egbe Orun, the guardians of our destiny. So, that help us make that blueprint and try to help us decide what's happening in our life.
Yep.
I agree with you, Zarina and Linda. There is blueprint, in life and anything. Some people are struggling being poor or being rich or whatever you can. With me, I'm actually a blueprint, like I've tried to build a house. It's like building a house, but you got to make it sturdy. You don't want to make it fall apart and anything, but you got to have a body too to keep it going. Anything, especially in anything. So keep positive in your life and don't think negative all the time. and anything, because that's not good for you either.
Yeah.
So.
And you're not a victim. You know, a lot of people, why is this happening to me? Why is God doing this to me? We're not victims down here. We put certain things in our path to learn and to grow. You put cancer in your path. Why you did that, who knows? I put a lot of physical issues in my path. Why I did that, I have no clue. But it has made me more appreciative of my gifts. It has made that better. So there's pros and cons to it, really. But we're not victims of the blueprint. We're growing. You know? At least I feel
I'm learning something.
I'm definitely evolving and growing. And I have learned within this last week, you know, with my throat chakra, my voice, that, you know, when people attack you and people, you know, have these certain agendas towards you, it's only because you're growing at an exponential rate, and you're about to level up. So of course, whatever is going to come against you is going to come and hit you where it hurts, because you're about to level up. And it's game 52, and I'm Mortal Kombat, baby. Let's bring it, you know? Sorry.
You're so funny. Now who's the goofball?
Well, I'll take after Sean. He's my hero, man. I got to represent, yo.
Me?
Well,
Yes.
I know you're
Yes. He has the great hair. I'm just saying.
every time I watch you guys' show, he's always having a hat on. So.
I know, because he has great hair.
No.
We had this
I usually
argument
do my
before the
hair.
show.
Wait
He
a
has
minute. I
great
usually do
hair.
my hair. I'm wearing a hat today
Right now, it's like,
because I don't want to do my hair because
But
I
he
need a
has great
haircut.
I
Well,
do too.
I
So
need a haircut.
we all need haircuts, but hey,
I need a haircut. I got clippers. I know if I take clippers to my head, I'll cut my kid's hair. I know if I go and I cut my own hair, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna end up with hair shorter than Danny's.
I'm
It's
just
buzzed.
hey, this is like really long, okay? And they're showing some horns right now and anything. I gotta get rid of them. I'm not kidding about that.
I want to see Sean in a mohawk. If we get like 3,000 views, I say we challenge Sean to a mohawk.
I'll tell you
Okay,
what.
if he does that, then I'll do
There
pink
is
hair.
one person. There is one person in this world that has a photo of me with a mohawk, and this person doesn't talk to me anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, when our show
It's a
gets
purple mohawk.
well, I'm just saying, when our show gets 3,000, I challenge you. I want a mohawk. I'm just saying.
When our Facebook page hits 3,000.
Oh wow, I have like over 1,000 friends, so I'll just take care of that.
We're at like I have. You know what? You know what's funny, guys? I have like I don't even know how many friends on Facebook. It's ridiculous, right? You know how many followers? Let's not talk about this.
I'm just saying, let's all work together because we want a mohawk for Sean.
Look.
Oh, Joe has
mohawk?
A mullet. Joe says a mullet.
That was funny. But he's not like
my wife, guys. We don't want my wife to leave me.
That's cruel.
Exactly, because he just like then the next minute it's like, is that a woman or is that a man?
Look, it's a party in the back, baby. That's all I'm saying.
What I had long hair when I was in high school, and I lost the bet, and I ended up with a mohawk, and dyed it purple. And there's only one photo of that in existence, and I don't think that person still has the photo because it was a very long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she is now on a different life path as we were both on back then. So who knows? But oh my goodness, Joe Campbell, you're about to get booted. He said they could get a mullet with lightning stripes.
He'll be like, wow, this is 1970s.
Can I just get like a lightning stripe like here? What if I got like a lightning stripe like that? No.
Darla telling you just need the right size bowl.
Yeah, Darla done. Get a bowl cut, right?
Or either that, or make you grow your beard out and like wear pirate beads. You know.
You know what? I
gotta
think that this is it. This is the extent of my beard. I've been trimming it. I've been keeping it. Actually, it's a little bit overgrown right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I want
that.
that big like beard. Like some people like that looks like really good.
Goose got that pirate beard. I'm just saying.
So we should
I don't
challenge
know
with Zarina.
What?
I said
Yeah,
we
we
should
should
challenge with Zarina now,
Well,
since he's going to do a
Zarina does her weaves,
Zarina.
okay? Zarina has her weaves.
How about
okay?
this? How about this? Something a little bit more realistic. If you guys get us
2,500.
up to 1,000 followers on Facebook,
And how many is it right now?
Zarina, we are not at 1,000 yet. We're at like 800, I think.
Oh, well, I can take care of that easily.
You get us to 1,000. Zarina has to
Don't you
dress.
dare. I will refuse to TikTok. No TikToking.
Oh, come on.
No.
She has to dress. No.
Like a dress like what?
What?
Dress like what?
Well, you said you won't do TikTok. You got to agree to a TikTok.
If we hit 1,000, I'll do a damn TikTok.
Okay.
Just for you, because I love you.
Okay. So if you do that, you have to dress up. Let's see. You have to dress up. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it.
I have nothing but black clothes, Sean. I'm a witch.
You're okay. What's that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just saying, don't make me wear no weird ass color.
How about it's a man? You could be a man.
No. No. Serena, don't do that.
No.
And Serena's a diva. Don't you know that already?
I know. I know that. You're like, no.
Okay. What if you dressed like
Sailor Moon?
No, that's lame.
She
That's
is-
lame. This is a paranormal show.
What are you cooking up over there, Sean? What's taking so long?
He's trying to get some ideas.
Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle.
You gotta dress up like Annabelle.
I will
And
do
you
it.
gotta do a TikTok dance.
Okay, I'll do it.
Just like Annabelle.
Good one,
I will
Sean.
do it. I'll do
I have
it.
to find the right doll. You know what,
Okay.
Annabelle? You know what? Everyone knows Annabelle. I think the Annabelle's the right one. And okay. You guys heard it.
I even have a red wig for that, so I'm down for that.
Okay, you guys heard it live here.
Yes.
We get to
Sean, I'll make sure that
1,000
happens.
1,000 Facebook subscribers on Into the Abyss.
And how long
Are
was
You
that
Media?
for?
Not Are You Media, on Into the Abyss Facebook page. Okay, I'm going to tag it right here, and you go to Into the Abyss. Hold on. Facebook page. Into the Abyss. It's not letting me tag it. This is being stupid. Are you serious right now? Oh, I hate Facebook. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Facebook. Okay. Let me tag. Come on.
I could definitely rock some Annabelle. I'm a badass.
Oh, okay, Joe just said, "Oh wow, the real Annabelle, not the fake movie." Okay.
No, yeah, the real one, the Raggedy Ann doll.
I will
Well, that's
rag-
what Joe Campbell just said. Okay.
I know. I can definitely do that. I can rock me some Annabelle. Y'all want scary? I will bring y'all the
Hey,
scary.
you can. How about we bring Annabelle, and then you can bring Abigail out for yourself.
Oh, you know, I was scared Sean with Abigail. Oh, so
And Sean
I
be
will-
scared.
At 1,000, I will be Abigail, just like Annabelle. And y'all want scary? I will
Right
bring
now-
y'all the scary.
Right now, we're at 899 likes on the Facebook.
Oh, well, that's
page.
easy, Sean. I can help you with that.
Get us to 1,000,
Oh, I will.
and Zarina's gonna dress up like Annabelle, and she's gonna do a
What?
TikTok video.
Okay, but do I have a counter offer for Sean if we hit 2,000?
For 2,000?
2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I want a counter bet.
That's a lot for 1,000. I'm just telling you, because you should say 1,500.
Okay, 1,500.
There you go.
Are you game?
It's Chucky.
What is it?
Not Chucky. No, Chucky's not that bad.
I just watched a video of a little person dressing up like Chucky, and he would like chase people through Walmart. That was pretty funny.
I've seen that.
The mole. I'm not doing the mole.
How about I think on it and I'll come up with it next week, and it'll be like our.
I'll tell you what. Think on it, and then when we hit the 1,000, we will announce the next bet.
Heck yes, I'm down. I'm so totally down.
Should be bugging me, asking me like, "Danny, help me." I'm like,
Oh no, I got a good idea.
I'm kind of scared for you, Sean.
What do you think, Linda? Oh, trust me. Yeah.
What is your prediction with this with Sean? I'm just saying.
It's going to be lovingly humiliating.
I love it. I think we should bring Linda on for that 2,000 show just because she was here on the show live.
You guys want to hear something crazy about tonight's show that I didn't realize until not very long ago?
What?
Today is the 1-year anniversary since Into the Abyss came onto RU Media Network. It's our 1-year RU birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to us. And my Marilyn Monroe voice.
That's kind of scary. When you sang me happy birthday last month, that was kind of scary.
So now that we've had a lot of fun, okay, and we've got the bet down, I think that we have got some good positive energy going. Can we kind of move on into our healing prayer?
Yes, please and thank you.
Zarina, you did awesome last week. You really did. What if we did kind of like a collaboration?
Let's do that. Let's collaborate and listen.
Can we start with Linda? Is that okay? And then we'll each kind of like say something.
Yes, our goddess Linda. Let's put it. Go, Mama.
Okay.
See that.
Okay, we're doing this basically for healing. So I'm going to lead out with Mother, Father, God. I ask that you wrap the entire world in a beautiful blue healing light. I ask that you heal all of Mother Earth itself and all of its inhabitants. And I'd like everybody to kind of visualize Mother Earth and hands going around it and just loving it and holding it in your hands. And this beautiful blue energy is just streaming down onto Mother Earth and all the people, all the animals, everything. And that's what I want you all to visualize, is that being healed. Okay, Zarina.
I just wanted to take you into a place of peace and rest and honesty within one's own self, that we bear witness to our authentic self and trust our intuition, and that we reach down into those places that need to be healed, those wounds. I speak into existence abundance and healing, manifestation of your desires to be able to make known and make your life and create it as you want it to be. I think a lot of people have just sit and let life happen to them, and we've been living our fate, not our destiny. So I just encourage you, with the portal that is open, that you just draw forth your desires and your healing and just manifest, and just know that anything is possible for you at this time. And I just ask the angels would clear at this time anything that no longer serves you through all time and space. And we break any karmic debt for those in this lifetime. And I just ask that the white light would surround and heal you and your loved ones, and that clarity and knowledge and understanding would be a part of your life from now and this day forward. Danny?
Oh, good. I got put me on the spot with that. Okay. Please, God, let everyone don't be greedy when they get this check in this world and anything. Please spend it wisely with your abundance, with everything. Donate it to someone who needs it, really needs it, or save it for a rainy day. But don't be greedy with it and help others. Please remember the homeless people out there. They might have it, but please, everyone, be safe. And the nurses and the doctors, please heal everyone in this world and not die. But that things can't change. But let Raphael heal the ones who are dealing with everything and protect everyone in this world. This mean world or happy world. Sean?
Okay. Everybody, please reach out your hands and accept this healing energy. Take in the healing energy that we're sending out to you. Please pass this along to your family. Wrap your family in this healing energy and shield yourselves with it and guide yourselves with it. May your spirit guides be with you and your family and keep you all safe and help guide us all into safety. And may these hard times come to an end very quickly. I hope everyone gets back to work and things get back to quasi-normal as soon as possible. Thank you. Also, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Wow. My eyes are tearing, guys.
I know. I feel very
chakras that are really hot. Wow.
I'm very grateful to be a part of a beautiful connection with each and every one of you, and just being able to be here in a collective whole and to be the medicine this world needs. And we've had a lot of fun tonight. We've laughed. Laughter is medicine. We've sent out healing energy. And for our people that are listening and following, Into the Abyss is such a funny thing for me right now, because when you feel like the word abyss, you think of this darkness, this thing, but I feel like abyss is not really that anymore. The context of how things has changed, this amazing light and this medicine and this show, from which every person had something to bring to this. And I'm very grateful that I got to share that tonight with each and every one of you. And it's been an amazing thing. Danny's been in my life for a long time, and Linda, I love you to death already. I swear, I just want to squish you right now. So
Linda's amazing.
Yeah.
Did I say I got gramps from Linda?
Yeah.
Did I say that? Like he's like don't get me wrong. Like, I love my children, I love my wife, but that dog has been like the greatest blessing to my household. It's been the greatest thing. So
I had to think somebody just dumped him. They just didn't want him. They just dumped him, and we worked with him a little bit.
I don't get it. He's so gentle. Gentle. Like, the kids, they're rough with him, and he's still gentle, and he plays with them, but he like plays rough, but like gentle. He's like this. I call him the gentle giant. He's just so amazing.
Yes, he's got beautiful energy.
Oh, and he's sensitive too. He knows. There's been times when I've taken him on walks and I look expecting there to be someone, like just because I feel the presence of spirit, and he's looking at the same time as me. So
Yep.
I feel like he's
an amazing dog.
Well, he is, and that's because of you. Thank you.
Thank you. We try to get the dogs. We get them, and they're in bad shape when we get them. They've got behavioral issues, whatever, medical issues. They're in really bad shape, and we work with them long enough to get them adoptable, and we try to place them with the right kind of family. Some like other dogs, some don't. Some like kids, some don't. So we work with each dog individually until we can get them. Right now we're at 13, and we're kind of at our max.
Whew.
Dang, that's a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah, and these aren't little dogs. They're pit bulls, cane corsos, huskies, shepherds. They're big dogs.
A lot of big poop.
In fact, I'm healing up from a dog bite.
Oh my god!
I did get bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's not good.
We had a dog fight the other day, but when you're dealing with dogs that've been damaged, and some of them, it's not if you're going to get bit, it's when. So Bear and I accept it. I got it on my hand too. They got me this way.
Oh my goodness!
But that's just like humans too.
Yeah.
Humans are damaged. You just got to know when you're going to get bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we go into this knowing that it's a possibility. And there's been one that we wasn't able to rehab because he was a bait dog, and he was so damaged, and he also had a seizure disorder.
Oh no.
And we were not able to save him, so we had to put him down. And sometimes we had him for 6 months, and I think that's the only time he ever had human love. So I feel like we made a difference in his life, at least for 6 months. Bear doesn't. He still regrets, but he didn't have any choice. He was having one seizure after another for 14 hours straight. That's no life.
No, it isn't.
But we love our fur kids.
Guys, the Goose, I don't know how long he's been watching, but he just joined in. I'm going to try and read this properly for you, Goose.
Do you want me to do it?
You know what? Yeah, go for it.
Prayer for ear physician of the gods, the merciful one. I ask that you would speed medical healing to speed the recovery of illness and injury. I ask you to inspire the doctors to do no harm and to do well in treating one whom I pray for. Inspire the doctors to have mercy as you have mercy. Inspire the one whom I pray for to be patient and hopeful. Hail, ear. I love you, Goose.
Well said, Goose.
Yes, thank you, Goose. That was awesome.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
So with that, I think, Linda, how can people get a reading from you? I think that we've shown just a small bit of what you're able to do tonight. So if someone wants more of a reading, how can they reach you?
I'm on Facebook as Linda Dix, and it has my and Bear as the profile picture. And it does say psychic medium in the little explanation. So just private message me, and I can let them know cost and availability. Afternoons and evenings are best for me because I'm an insomniac, and I don't usually get to sleep till the birds chirp. So afternoons and evenings are better. And I can do video chat or over the phone, especially since we're social distancing.
Awesome. Awesome. So guys, look up Linda. She will give you an awesome reading. She is amazing.
Nice.
Awesome. And so guys, don't forget to get us to the 1,000 followers on the Facebook. Guys, we want to see Zarina dancing on video dressed like Annabelle. We want this to happen. Everyone wants to see this. I know it's going to be great. I know it is. It's the antidote that we all need right now. So hopefully we can have this by next week, guys. Come on, we can do this.
I'll help you, Sean. I'll help. Okay.
I've sold my soul to the devil. I really do.
Sign here, Serena.
Linda, thank you so much for coming on. Danny, thank you for coming on unexpectedly. You
I know, unexpectedly.
Great addition. No, it's awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that it's okay that he jumped on with us with everybody. I just kind of did it. So, Goose is like, wait, what? He doesn't know about the contest.
What? No, Goose. No.
Goose, if we hit 1,000 followers on the Facebook, Zarina Crow is going to dress like Annabelle the doll and do a TikTok dance. I'm not being specific about which dance she can choose, but she has to be dressed like Annabelle.
Yep,
I guess who's going to be doing the video?
Danny,
What?
you just are in trouble.
You still love me.
I love you.
I know. I'll be laughing my ass off, and I'll send that to Sean right away. Just remember, it could go on my phone, and it could have. I'm like, Sean, here you go. Now you can play it on the episode.
Zarina, do you notice these two keep adding things to that?
I know. I'm telling you. Me and Linda, when we get to 2,000, Sean, you are in double trouble. I'm just saying.
I thought it was 1,500, but we can do 2,000
out of this.
I didn't add anything to it.
No, Danny, we're going to pull you along.
No. I didn't do nothing. I just get the people who like it and anything, because you might get some from Iowa, you get some from Vegas, and some from Arizona. Okay,
I'm good with that. I like all those areas. We're fine.
Yeah. The next minute, you're like, dang it, Danny, and then she's coming after me. She was like a half hour from me. I'm scared. She's about my nails now. I should run.
I know where you live, Danny.
I know you too. Now, Sean, you started something. Okay, she's gonna come after me.
Goose says, "Love you, Linda, my friend."
Oh, love you too, Goose.
Great show, guys.
Hey, thank you, Melvin. Everyone, thank you, everyone.
Joe, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everyone, for all the compliments.
Good night. Have safe.
It was a lot of fun.
Dreams.
Linda, you are welcome on anytime. Anytime. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad. I was worried because tonight's topic was kind of depressing. I'm glad that we were able to have fun with it.
But you know what? This is honestly, I will tell you, been my favorite show so far. I absolutely loved all of us. It was
awesome.
The best time ever.
Awesome sauce, like you say. Awesome sauce.
Guys.
Well, thank you, everyone. Danny, you of course are welcome.
Yes,
anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, everyone, and everyone, please stay safe out there. If you can, stay home. If you have to go out, do what you got to do. If you got masks, wear those. I just stay healthy. We need everyone to be healthy. We don't want anyone getting sick. All right. So with that, everyone have a great week. We will see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh.